Hello and welcome to SciFi Vision Presents Fandom Access for January 5th. I see my co-hosts are here. We'll bring in Julie and Scarlet. Hey guys.
Hey Jamie.
I gotta mute my tab. My YouTube video started playing in the other tab and I'm like, what just happened?
That happens to me in almost every single live. I keep forgetting to keep that muted in the other tab.
Yeah,
I hate
I
that.
get used to it. But yeah, I'm getting better though. I'm remembering most things here. But thanks everybody for coming. Please, if you haven't, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit those notifications. You can find a playlist of all of our from interviews as well as these live streams on the channel, as well as in the video chat, lots of other interviews. And for those of you who don't know about it, because I've become aware that not everybody realizes there is a website part to this channel, which has actually happened before the channel. The channel came later, which is scifivision.com. There's lots of great stuff there. So make sure if you haven't, you check that out, and make sure you check out Julie's channel as well, which is listed in the description. But we're going to be talking about episode 5 of season 1 today, Silhouettes. So I'm trying to get my banner thingy put that has at least the website. But hi guys, so I guess we'll talk about episode 5. Sorry, this has been a long day. I just got done doing another live stream. I was over at Squawking Dead and I didn't expect it to take 3 hours. And I'm like, I've been sitting in front of my computer for way too long.
Oh wow. 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that kind of thing before, and in fact I just did it last week. Another person's stream right before mine. I was on Tony Teflon's stream as a guest last week, which I didn't expect. I was just invited and it was awesome. I had so much fun. And then I had like a short break and I did my own stream, and it's crazy, but I'm obsessed enough with it that I can never get enough live streaming. But I know
I enjoyed it. I'm tired and I'm like, no, I got to stand here for a couple more hours. I got to stay awake. I'm sleepy. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. But why am I? Oh, I got up the wrong. Did I up the right episode? I have up my notes and I'm like, wait, why does this look wrong? Okay, I see what it is. I got it right. Just trying to figure it out. Sorry about that. All right. Well, I was gonna say
it should start with goats.
Yeah, no, it does start with goats. But wait, Julie sent me the pictures. That's what I was trying to see if I could get this over here and have everything open at once. So yeah. Wait, it starts with goats. Nathan's with the animals. He's with the goats. Yeah.
It starts with goats. As a lot of things do.
Yeah. It starts with goats. It started with Sarah. It ended last time with Sarah having her seizure from seeing her arm say to kill the boy, and that's kind of where it starts. I actually had a lot of notes. Like I saw a lot more stuff in this episode than I did in the other one. The other ones when we were doing it before. Although for some stupid reason, I think because I've been doing 20 things at once, I didn't color code it and it's all mixed into the recap. And I'm like, where did it go? That's why I'm all mixed up.
Yeah.
But we'll get there. But
I have an enormous amount of stills as usual, but normally I at least go through and delete like the duds, because you're always going to get duds when you take screenshots, but I didn't have time, so just like skip through the lousy ones.
Yeah, that might actually be probably better, and we'll try. I'll try doing what you did before, what you did for Severance, and kind of go in order a little bit. But yeah, we'll go fast. We won't go through all of them. Each and every one, because
plus me and Julie have a lot of the quotes from the series, so we could do dramatic readings if you wish.
No, that's cool too. Gee, you took so many of the road there, Julie.
I know, it's like a flip book of the whole episode.
No, it is. But that's okay. It's
the next best thing, the video clips.
Yeah, true. But yeah, at least we can't get in trouble for it. But I don't know. I just found an awful lot in this episode, like where the other ones I didn't as much, because there's a lot of stuff with Jade theories and everything else. I don't know.
Oh, there's a lot there. And it's funny because when I first watched it, I don't know why I didn't have the same reaction. I found it a little bit slower than the first few episodes, but now watching it again, like wow, like
Mhm.
there's some very important bits of dialogue. I mean, chunks of dialogue from several characters, and it may not be a lot of action except for the part with Sarah, of course, but there's a lot of important dialogue and quotes from Jade, from Kenny. There's a lot. There's a lot to
Mhm.
to tease, dig through, and
Yeah,
yeah,
there's like Fatima's backstory and Sarah and Christie's talk.
that too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm seeing who's here. Hi, just me, Dieter, Jay's Reviews. Thank you for coming. So yeah, I guess the beginning is that she's staying at the I keep trying to change the picture going on StreamYard. Like that's not gonna work. That's why it's not working. She's at the clinic because she'd had the seizure, but she's looking at Christie's scalpels. Maybe Christie should have locked her stuff up a bit more. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But also
Yeah,
we
I
get
think that scalpel gets a lot of like close-ups.
yeah,
in
no,
this
it does. It does.
episode.
Yeah, I'm sure Julie probably has a close up too.
I do.
The scalpel. Yeah, I don't know. You would think that I guess though Christy trusted her, so really did she have a reason to pay attention to it? I don't know. But
Yeah, you don't exactly have a lot of crime in this place. Like they pretty much don't, because like they all are united, like facing the same threat of the monsters, and so it's not like they have a lot of issues. So
oh, cool! I didn't know it would resize it like that. Interesting.
Well,
learning new things there. I didn't realize it went by how wide you had the other window. I thought it just shared the window. That's funny.
it also seems like they don't have a lot of sanitizer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just a
you would think-
bacterially. I mean, not only is he getting cut across his throat, he's getting a horrible infection at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say they're missing a lot of things at the clinic, but you kind of don't focus on it very much. But we will hold on. Okay, sorry, I just was looking to see what Julie was saying. But also Boyd kind of comes in, he knows it's happening at this point. And asks about it. And really, we find out too that Nathan's trying to get in. He wants to talk to Sarah, and she, she wants to sleep or tell him she's sleeping, not that she's sleeping, that she doesn't want him really involved, which I find kind of interesting because he's the one she told, but I guess she doesn't want him worrying about her at this point. And she's like, everything will be fine.
Or she just feels it's going to get out, like the cat's going to get out of the bag.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, she doesn't want anybody to know ahead of time what she's planning. That's a good point.
Well, I think Nathan almost feels more guilt about it than she does.
Yeah, yeah. And I was thinking about that too. Like, if Nathan hadn't have told Cautry what she had done ahead of time, nobody would have known that she was responsible for the other deaths, and things maybe would have been a bit easier for her. Like, I'm glad he did, and he should. I hadn't really thought about it before. Like, otherwise, how would people have known she was at fault? Nobody would have been blaming her for.
Well, I think he was. I think he was probably feeling guilt over it, but then also, who knows if she's going to do something else. So I think he just kind of wanted to warn people.
Yeah,
but
no,
really
he did.
I mean, kind of torn because it's she's a sister, but still.
Yeah, but he's still worried about the rest of the town.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like, so at least he told somebody. But Boyd just, I guess maybe he should have talked to Boyd, and things would have went a little bit different instead of waiting and talking to Cautry, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Cautry is kind of unavailable.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, golden child. She also, or he also. Sorry, I was going to say Boyd also tells Christy about his shaking too. I think at this point. Sorry, I'm trying to look through the pictures too. Okay, she's still worried about her arm because she had seen kill the boy in it.
Yep.
I apologize. I'm always so bad at remembering who said what. But somebody earlier when we were doing the rewatch in the chat was saying, like, we know it isn't worms under her skin that were there, because I think it was Avery who said that it wasn't. It wasn't the same thing as Boyd. But what do we think that it is that did that? I mean, I assume it's just sort of like they made her see it. It wasn't that it was even real. It was more just them screwing with her, I guess.
I think it was like kind of like a vision. Yeah, that only she could see. I think if someone else had looked at her arm, they wouldn't have even seen anything, but she could feel it and she could
Yeah.
see it for her. So for her, it seemed real. That's how I took it.
And plus,
And
it's kind of like blood rising up because there's like a theme of blood in the show, like my blood is your blood, and it's like blood rising up from her
kind of
arm.
looks like stigmata. Like it appears as if it was carved into her
Yeah,
arm.
like
Oh,
stigmata, like cutting or stigmata is exactly.
and Jack Bender in his interview with E-Man, Jack Bender also confirmed that those were not worms.
Yeah, so not the same thing Boyd had. Yeah, Jay's review says they probably was messing with her and wasn't there. So yeah, some kind of vision, but it ain't. Oh, I know what I was saying. I started to say, sorry, my brain's all over the place tonight. Boyd is telling Christy, well, starting to tell Christy about his shaking. He sort of mentions it, but he doesn't go into it, but we get it gives us a taste of knowing something's up with Boyd. But also I was going to say, we get more into Sarah and her brother's relationship in this episode, as much as we say it does seem creepy, because she even says that, he's worried about her, and he's very, but yeah, I mean, he has a reason to be, like we said, because she told him what happened. But I think it's when she's talking to Christy that she definitely implies that she was in a relationship that that looks worse, that wasn't healthy or that was abusive, and we don't really get much other than that, but at least we get a little bit more into that backstory.
I couldn't remember which episode that was coming in and who she said it to. So yeah, she did actually make it pretty clear. It was, there was something very wrong with that relationship. We don't know the details, but you can tell just from her expressions and the way that she, shuts down the trauma response when she's starting to talk about it and speaks in really vague terms.
Yeah. I think the chat. I don't know. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what Dieter's saying about the chat. I'm not sure. Does something not look right? I'm not sure what he means. I think the chat.
Oh, is he talking about the pictures?
Our videos, maybe. Yeah, maybe our pictures are small because they're on the side from the screen capture video. Now, am I wrong, or did this happen in the last episode and this was from the recap? Because for whatever reason, that's what I thought, but maybe it didn't.
It's a flashback. Actually, they don't do many of them. This is rare. They have a flashback to this, and they did a couple flashbacks in season 3. But yeah, this is a flashback she had.
Yeah. All right. Well, we see that. Christy's worried about her, but she's going to have a girls' night with her, I guess you could say. So she kind of forgets has to forgo getting the scalpel. But I mean, it seems, at least to Christy, more like a normal conversation with somebody. And I don't know if this is this when they have that conversation or not? It looks like it from the pictures, but that's not what I have in the notes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Sarah asked her if there was something, if she knew she could do something that was bad, if it would get them out of the town, would she do it? Because they talk about how she did have a fiance, whether she's still her fiance or not at this point, she don't know. But Marielle, that's waiting for her back home, and she wants to see her again, and said that she would do anything to see her. So she makes her feel, I guess, like it's okay, when it's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she kind of gives
she does say, well, we're speaking hypothetically. I have this all written down.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason,
yeah,
I
of
have
course.
things in different order. Yeah. I don't know why I have before this, and it must be before this, and that's why I think just the screen captures aren't showing it. Ethan was asking about Sarah, and they were saying Christy was going to patch her up like they did before, but that's when, unless I'm not far enough in the captions, but that's when Jim takes out the Sharpie and says it's like telling a story, and he writes down, where are we? That's why I said I don't know if I'm out of order on the pictures, or I think you skipped that part. Maybe, I don't know, either that or I have something wrong. That was definitely her conversation there.
They should be chronological. I'm pretty sure because that's how I do it. I take them
Right, but I
chronological.
mean, maybe you skipped the part with Ethan, and that was why. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
remember on our last live that they weren't coming in order for some
And
reason.
that one was not found.
There was one that yeah, I just deleted some lousy pictures. So if it says not
Yeah,
found,
it doesn't matter. I just was trying to see because they're not all coming in. But at any rate, we learn about Marielle in this episode. I don't know why some of them aren't like loading, but they're all very similar. So I'll just go down and pick one at the end of the conversation, and we'll.
yeah, I'm trying to delete.
for a
I was
second.
trying to delete duds so that you don't have to go through a million, but I guess that's not working because all you see, then you just see not found. I might as well just leave.
It's okay. It's fine. Just leave it. But I was just saying we find out about Marielle here. I think that's the other takeaway from this is if we find out that Sarah had a bad past or somebody was abusive, we think her relationship and that she's glad it's over, but that about that Christy kind of agrees with her and says that she would too, not knowing that it's not really hypothetical, you know.
Right. Right.
But yeah, but they do talk about Christy's relationship a little bit, so I guess that's a little.
Yeah, and I was somewhat quasi theorizing that maybe that Christy manifested Marielle on the bus by saying that she'd do anything to have Marielle there again.
Yeah, I kind of wondered that too. If maybe she brought the bus there, and this is where we've talked about before. You know, are there only maybe some people that are important that in the town that are brought there for a reason, and just everybody else is kind of along for the ride? You have to wonder.
Maybe a bus with that many people in it, because there are a few people that gets killed straight off.
Yeah,
right.
Like the two people that are wandering around and they see the monsters are shaking their hands and stuff, and they're like, "Whoa!"
yeah. No, a lot of them. There were a lot of red shirts that get killed straight off, but I mean, there. You know, there's Bacta, which we hardly ever see, and there's Randall, and there's Elgin, and there's Marielle, and I think, unless I missed somebody, I think those are the most important people.
Tilly,
yeah, Tilly's important too.
Yeah, it's really fascinating when you think about it because like sorry, well, it's fascinating when you think about it because it seems like several people on that bus were handpicked and were supposed to be there. So how was this orchestrated? Because it definitely seems like Elgin and Tilly were supposed to be there for specific purposes. Definitely Elgin. I mean, we saw that, and you know, obviously Marielle was supposed to be there. That's not a coincidence. So how was this orchestrated that they wound up on the same bus? That's pretty impressive.
So you have somebody like the Boy in White or some other entity pushing them like from a cafe to the bus.
Yeah.
Pointing them to the bus station.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously that's not till season 2. But yeah, I kind of wondered too about that. Like if she manifested or if she would have ever came if she hadn't said anything. We don't know. But yeah, but that's really the first time that we find out about that. But this is definitely not just a girls' night out. Let's put it that way. Jay's review is saying, and I assume that he means when she was saying about would you do this to see your girlfriend again? He says if someone said that to me, even from Femville, I'd be sus of that person. I assume that was what that was in reference to. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like in this place, especially if, well, they don't know they necessarily manifest things, but if they do manifest things, probably telling somebody, oh yeah, it's fine to do something bad. It's not a good idea.
Well, I mean, she basically says that, I mean, Christy says at the end of it, she says, yeah, I'd do anything to see her again. And hey, I mean, if that meant everyone else got to go home too, then I think it's a lot of good for one bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
It's logical.
Yeah, and that's why this there is so many like so much different things dealing with morality in this show, really, and especially even in this episode. It's like, what would you what is, I guess, would you do that's considered okay? Like how far would you go? I mean, if and this is even brought up later too, when Jade says to Jim, it doesn't matter certain things because what matters is they get home. And I guess in a sense, if it was like Abby thought you kill everybody and everybody wakes back up, then I guess in that sense, it wouldn't matter what you did to somebody. But if this is real life and everything is really happening, you can't just, kill somebody just to go. That's not necessary. I mean, I don't know, but later on you get into like Boyd tortured Elgin and what Elgin did and everything. So yeah, it's a lot about what would you, how far would you go? Because it parallels with like what the whole town did to the kids. Like they sacrificed all their children just so they could be immortal. So hopefully this group isn't as bad. We can hope that anyway.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit more relaxed just because they had 96 days without incident, and there's only been a couple incidents, and it hasn't gone full on yet.
Yeah.
Where they're really tested.
Yeah, definitely. Gabriel said she was fine to do bad things, and then was like, wait, not like that. Yeah, I think she maybe thought about maybe it wasn't the best idea. I'm not sure if that's PM. It says PM underneath, like in little. I don't know if that she just changed her icon and that's her or not, but
no, that's
sure.
different
Different person. Okay, I'm not sure why it says PM then. That's odd. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I don't understand this chat stuff, so who knows? But just me said, wouldn't Christy be suspicious of how Sarah's talking, especially after the door was left open and people died? Yeah, Christy was kind of one of the ones that had to deal with that, with all the people in her clinic being killed to begin with. Right. And by the way, guys, if I'm going too slow or too fast, let me know. I'm just kind of going through bit by bit because we don't have a lot of chatter in the chat yet. So
sure.
Go through it.
Well, I mean, Christy did say she was like, we're speaking hypothetically, right? So, I mean, she was trying to clear it.
She looked a little bit suspicious, like as she made some facial expressions, like like she did look like she was put off by what Sarah was saying, but then just said, "Okay, yeah, we're speaking hypothetically." So, but yeah, I would be suspicious if Sarah was creepy as hell. Her facial expressions.
And no, I was saying last night when we were rewatching the episode, because I've been playing a lot of PlayStation lately, but it reminds me of those games that are like you have to press what you make the decision, and it really affects later. And I was saying and thinking, Christy's like, oh yeah, right now this is a good idea, and maybe she's backtracking. Like she probably wishes she could go back and change what she said just a bit, right?
Yeah, and just about just one other thing, like I definitely think based on what Sarah said that her ex was abusive to her, like a lot of people think. She just said it's better he's not here, and at one point she said and then she stopped talking. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she killed her ex, who was abusive, and then she was running away. She said Nathan saved her. So I and it would make sense then for her to be brought to this place. I think it was deliberate by whatever entity brought her there for the purpose of killing people, because she just probably did that and was traumatized. So she's capable of murder.
Yeah, either that or her and Nathan ran away from this abusive guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
It's good.
I always kind of wondered if it was her father. I don't know why, but I kind of at the beginning thought that maybe she was abused by her father, but she does say a relationship. So
yeah.
I don't know. That might have just been something I inferred, but clearly Nathan is very protective of her because of whatever happened.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's important. But meanwhile, Jim at his house, he's like, we're gonna figure this problem out. And
I guess it's a little backwards. I think that happened before.
It did. Part of it did. That's why I'm reading back on
retrograde.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll get it.
Most of it's chronological, but once in a while,
it's fine if it's not. That's why I have the recap. So
it starts with the goats.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here this is. Go back. I was reading what they said. Jay's review said she could have heard her ex. We need more info from the writers. See, and I agree. I just, and I'll say this, and I said this during the stream today. I really think part of the problem is if we're only getting 2 seasons, there's going to be so many things we're just like not going to get because they don't have time.
Right.
And I'd really like to see. And in the scheme of things, like, do I want to know more about Sarah's backstory? Of course, it's very interesting, but I'd rather know more about the town.
Right.
So we probably won't.
Or her story going forward instead of backwards.
Right. Yeah, definitely. They were saying too, like maybe we'd get a comic book series. I think that would be really cool if we couldn't get more episodes, like just exploring all the things that we aren't getting an answer to.
I would
Have you
love that.
have you ever seen the poster that what is Fromcast did? That looks like Tales from the Crypt.
Like the comic book thing.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
awesome. Yeah, it is. It is really good. I don't know who
To
did
have
it.
a
There's
whole comic book like that would be amazing. Like this
yeah.
have little stories instead of like an anthology of stories.
Yeah. They said they'd be open to it. They were asked, like, would you ever be willing to do a graphic novel or a spin-off? And they said like they'd be open to the idea because they have a lot of ideas in their mind already. Like they know a lot about the characters' backgrounds, what happens to the town at the end, what happens to the characters after the show, and like they have a lot of that already in their minds. So I would love it if they would do more with that.
And
Yeah,
and,
they
and,
could,
and
they
I
could
was
do
gonna
even like
say
series in the comics.
I was gonna say if they need a crypt keeper, Smiley would do magnificently.
Yeah.
No, but
He
they
would
could even do
introduce each story.
okay, good. But they could even do series too, like do like one on the original inhabitants of the
Hmm.
town, and like
Yep.
one on Victor. Like there's all kinds of things they could do. I mean, I know that we're gonna, I'm sure, get stuff like that for fanfic and that, but like that's not the same thing. We want official stuff.
Oh,
Wait,
definitely.
whoops, wrong thing. I was gonna try the chat moves and I missed. I was gonna say, Dieter says she did an Elgin on her bro. That's kind of funny. She kind of did.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jay's reviews agrees that we might not get a lot of those answers. But
Yeah.
I think it's just we're on the decline. Ready for episode 4 out of 5. I don't think we're going to get a lot of it.
I took this image that you have up and I actually sharpened it so it's a little bit easier to read some of the stuff because it's hard to see, and they deliberately make it hard to see, I think.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, where did I find that at? Jim's wall. That one that I found, that Reddit, that somebody had posted what the questions were. I tried to see better on my TV. Like I walked up to the TV, and a lot of that is actually what's on the wall. Some of the questions, and this is what they listed, and I believe a lot of this is what it says. And this is by Awesome Nobody. It's on the From TV show Reddit. But it says, what are they? Vortex, dimensional portal, trees or crows, livestock, talisman. And I know it says something like, can we make them? I don't know what all in. And then about when the town is built and the creatures, where do they go at during the day, and do they sleep? So yeah, there's a lot of different. Oh, I didn't know. Whoops. Why did it do that? I didn't know it was going to switch and bring that screen up. Sorry, guys.
I was
Yeah,
reading
well,
the
that's okay.
Einstein thing.
Yeah, no, I was sharing the picture. I didn't know it changed. I was reading it off of it.
Yeah, because
so-
you must be sharing your whole screen, just FYI. You're probably sharing your whole screen instead of just the tab. I usually just share the tab, the individual tab.
I thought that I did, but it must have shared the whole window. Select window or screen.
Yeah,
Draw
like you.
photos in from. That's weird. I think it is. I think it's sharing the whole internet window, like not just that. It's that whole one window. It's not the whole screen, but it's the whole one window. But oh well, it's
Yeah,
okay. I'll
it's
open
okay.
it in another window if I want to get it. But I did read something else before we get into more about these questions on Reddit that made me wonder, and I had never thought of until today. And again, I don't remember who said it. I apologize. But is it possible that maybe when they collapsed his house, that like the whole thing with her digging was a red herring, and maybe they didn't want these clues and stuff out for everybody to see? I thought that was kind of interesting because I hadn't thought about that before.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I mean, because he hit on some things that could be, who knows? I mean, he could have actually had something accurate there on the wall somewhere and all that. So yeah, maybe there's more than one reason. Sorry, go ahead, Scarlett.
No, that's okay. You said and all that, and I'm like all the crazy that's on the wall here.
Yeah.
Or he wrote the number 12 real big, and they're like, that's gotta go.
Yeah, well, he said that was the answer. That was funny now watching that back, knowing that was kind of the answer. But
yeah.
well, I was asking if I don't understand the question biological, like what if he just means like where do they come from? Maybe the creatures. I don't know. And I'd also like to know why he has stuff marked for other countries. Like it looks like in that picture, he's got stuff marked for what I assume is supposed to be South America and maybe Africa. I don't know. It's
There's
hard to
question
tell.
marks on them.
Yeah,
They're
his
question
globe
marks.
isn't that. So maybe I don't know. Maybe he's wondering if people will come from other countries. Who knows? But
Yeah, it's interesting like people come when they're like young, like to the US. Like Fatima like comes to the US when she's 11 and Jade comes to the US when he's 12, but they come from different countries like France and Iran.
And we don't
right,
know about
but
Kenny.
directly
We
to
know
the
he
town
came.
though. You
Yeah.
know, they were in other places till then. But the thing,
But
there's certain things in
also
this
Kenny.
episode. But there's certain things in
Well,
this episode.
okay, I wasn't finished, but okay, go ahead.
What? No, go ahead. What'd you say?
No, I said but also Kenny.
Kenny.
Well, it seems like these people come from other countries, like a lot of people, like explorers came from other countries to the US.
Oh, yeah.
Like if there's
Well,
some kind of revenge coming from an entity, it would be people coming into the country from different places. So they are coming from the US, but they're also coming from all these different continents. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tabby and her mom were from Colombia and came up to the US.
She's got an accent. Yeah, good point.
yeah, technically.
Well, she
The
is
thing
Colombian.
they didn't come. I guess what I was saying is they didn't come directly from the other countries, though. Like they weren't driving in the other countries when they showed up. Was the point I was making? But you're right; they are from different countries. Maybe they wanted a more diverse group of people. I mean, maybe there was a reason they pulled them from where they did. I don't know. But then you have Marielle and Christy, who came from the same place. So I guess that can't always be accurate, And now we have Henry that comes from the same place, obviously, as Victor.
But I was wondering if everything starts up in the colonial area, like the cannibal village we talked about, even though there's not cannibals there, that these would be people from different areas. There would be Europeans and people coming from around the world. So maybe those people are related to those people somehow, just.
Yeah, as opposed to ancestors, right, rather than reincarnations.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
Well,
Yeah.
reincarnated too, but the other people would be from these different regions.
Yeah. So maybe their ancestors came from all the different various regions. Although I don't think Jim would know that yet. I think he might just be, I don't know, thinking about it. But
interesting.
But I was just going to say there's so many things though in this episode. Like I know I didn't get a lot from the first episodes, but really stuck out to me, and also sort of, I don't want to say exactly a trolley question, but like Tabitha says that people are asking the same questions over and over again, and she's right, and they got to figure it out. But then I also started thinking when she said that, like, could that be a clue to reincarnation? Because she's been living this over and over again. But I don't know. That might be reaching a little bit.
What might be a clue?
She says that people are asking the same question, but she just says over and over again, and it just made me think of the reincarnation when she said that.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's a reach at all, honestly. I think they deliberately planted little nuggets, little Easter eggs in these first few episodes. I think that they foreshadowed the fact that she and Jade were reincarnated by, in a previous episode in this season, both of them got knocked unconscious when they arrived, and both of them appeared dead. So it's like foreshadowing that they did die over and over and came back here. So yeah, I don't think that's a reach, what you're saying. No.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of Easter eggs. Golden Child's saying he agrees with the ancestors theory. I was going to say, I think that was him that was talking about that before a couple weeks ago in the Discord chat. I wasn't 100% sure, but I think it was. So yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense because we think that only the two of them are reincarnated, but it makes it be a way that the other ones can be connected without being reincarnated.
Right.
And there seems to be a lot of sins of the fathers going on in the show too.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of like,
well,
they're getting the punishment for their previous generations.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of the whole thing about they got their immortality because they sacrificed everybody. So yeah, that's definitely a very, very big thing. He also says, and I wondered if we're missing a big piece of the puzzle too, because he also says that like something's missing. We can't see it yet. And I kind of was thinking about like, are we missing something? I don't know. But Tabitha does not want to.
I like the use of the word alien for creatures though. That gives all the alien people something to chew on.
Yeah. Aliens is written up on the wall.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of interesting things. And obviously he points out the trees, and well, we know the trees are important, but we've been having a lot of discussions lately about the crows having some kind of importance too. So, but at any rate, Tabitha does not want to join in at
Can
this
either of
point.
you read what's under biological with creatures? What's it say underneath there? Real or?
I took a picture of it earlier with my cell phone, and I feel like you could see that. Let me see if I can. But then again, my picture, my cell phone may be harder to read than what was when I looked at on the TV. I don't know. I remember being able to see what it said, but I'm not going to remember what it was. Where did they
go? But the Reddit page doesn't work.
No, the Reddit page doesn't have a picture. It says, yeah. Let me open this into a different tab. There we go. They have the creatures. Where did they go in the day and night? Do they sleep? Yeah, I don't remember what that was. Why are they slow? There's something about why they're slow. Oh, are they real? Yeah, he did say, are they real? That person said in the.
Why are they so slow was one I remember because it was funny.
Yeah.
Why so slow? Kind of like why so serious and Batman, why so slow?
Yeah. Whoops, I went backwards. Didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Lots of pictures of the wall that we can't read. Okay. And again, Jim's wearing blue. Ethan's wearing yellow. The curtains are yellow. I never noticed it until we started talking about it.
So what other things does it say on the page? It said something about Einstein. I was kind of curious about that.
Einstein. Let's see.
It was in one of the early paragraphs.
Jade mentioned Einstein, Podolsky, Rosen paradox. So where are they? Theorizing they slipped into a space between their world that has a different reality and exceptions through an Einstein-Rosen bridge or wormhole.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where he talked about, and this is where I was saying I thought it was important, is that he's talking about like knowing how to get out. They really need to know where they're at. That's really important.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. CT5 says, I think Tilly is reincarnated as well, only because her reaction, meaning the rain dance.
Yeah, she was almost happy when she got there, when it was raining.
Yeah,
she came out and did a little rain dance in front of the bus.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. I always just thought she was kind of crazy new age lady, so I was like, that's fine.
Yeah, she was a bit
relatively harmless.
Yeah. I have written here, I just was going to mention this because I noticed how when she comes out, and even Nathan seems surprised she's acting like everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Sarah is acting almost like now she feels absolved of her guilt because she talked to Christy, and Christy's like, oh, yeah, I would do anything to leave.
It's like, now I can stab the kid without any remorse.
Yeah, and I think that it kind of gave her, making her feel like she can do it, and that's why that conversation was not a good thing. Yeah. No, but let's see.
So that's why Christy feels guilty at the end of the episode when she's with Boyd at the diner.
Yeah.
She thinks it's her fault.
It's not her fault, but it was kind of, she should have thought better before she answered, Do you know
what that thing is in the background, Jamie? That like white and green thing? Is that a storage unit or is that a painting? I wasn't really sure what that was.
Yeah, it looks like a shed of some kind that maybe they didn't finish painting. That's what it looked like.
I didn't know if it was some kind of painting thing for Colony House because they had that other scene where people were carrying a frame down the street.
Yeah, I don't know
if they were just carrying a painting. That wouldn't be too weird.
No, they would have paintings, but I don't know. To me, it looks like a shed that they half painted.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. Let's see. Dieter's talking about Tilly says she was about to die anyway, so why not enjoy it?
Yeah,
seems good to me.
I mean,
People
when she had the cancer, it was just every day. It might be your last.
Yeah.
So
that's why that's why I still think that they could have said something like that she wanted to die on her own terms and she went out in the woods, and I think they would have gotten a lot further. There's Nathan. Let's see. He's like, no, wait, we got to talk about this. And she's totally calm now. The calm before the storm, which isn't a good thing. So Julie is making a list of people that she knows will miss her. And that's when Fatima says, we've all done this. that it's something probably everybody's done, but that she's definitely done this. And she wants to cheer her up, so she decides to take her to the Brundles. And she goes and gets Ellis, but this is her just telling Julie that she has something to show her. She's trying to cheer her up.
I may have
It's
to do a
kind of
little
cool.
color theorizing on green because Fatima wears a lot of green.
She does.
I mean, she and like in this scene too, she has like the sun on her face. She's very like woman cloaked with the sun, very Earth Mother with the green. And I kind of want to keep my eye on what else she wears. And I mean, she has the sweater too, which is oddly the color yellow. Oh, I love the scene too. He kind of looks like Lenny Kravitz working on art, which is kind of cool.
Kind of does, yeah.
He does kind of look like Lenny Kravitz. And also Fatima, I think with the green, I think it's probably part of the Eve trope, which is now confirmed. I forget which of the three J's confirmed it in an interview, saying that
Jack Bender said that did that Garden of Eden painting, which we've been calling Garden of Eden all the time, but he confirmed that was such.
And he confirmed that it's supposed to represent Ellis and Fatima. So Fatima is like, I think the green really fits with that if she's representing an Eve type of character.
Yeah.
I wish there was more scenes of Ellis making stuff. I know that they got like, have troubles now, but it was kind of cool to see all these things he was working on.
Sculptures. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of interesting. That thing right there, doesn't that kind of look like a maze? It reminds me of the game in Westworld.
Oh, the Westworld? Yeah.
Yeah,
it does kind of look like the game. I know you haven't seen it, Julie, but there's like this little circular thing with a maze through it that all the main characters want to find the middle of. And it's pretty much the first season's called The Maze.
Interesting. I gotta watch this show.
It has all that kind of brain imagery that we like in Severance and stuff. It looks like a brain, like all the shows have that. What?
Huh. Yeah, Westworld's good. It sucks that they, like everything else, canceled it. They were supposed to get another season and then never did.
Yeah, that was kind of sad that they didn't get their 5 seasons.
Yeah, especially when they had already sort of approved it pretty much and then changed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a weird time for HBO.
Yeah, it was. So Jade comes in carrying the radio, and he's talking about that Einstein, what is it?
Podolsky Rosen.
Yeah. About he's kind of muttering to himself at this point. And then Trudy comes up. I'm assuming you have that picture next cut with. I like that. That's a good picture.
Yeah, I have good ones in there mixed with a lot of lousy ones, but they're good.
Yeah, but there's Trudy. She just comes.
All the Jade ones are great.
Yeah, they're Jade. They're good. But that's when she says, it's too bad he's in the town because I would have rode you like an alabaster dragon.
Yeah.
Which is quite a memorable quote, I think. But
he was
trying to figure shit out. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he was also talking about special relativity, and he says that's Klein Hardy's.
Yeah.
I wanted to look up all these things
because Klein Hardy's, Einstein, Podolsky Rosen, whatever, however you pronounce it.
Because I always come up with a book club list for each of these, and I kind of want to list books from all these scientists as a book club. I mean, it'd be a heavy book club, but
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be hard to
but we have a year,
Yeah, but I always find it interesting when he's talking about like wormholes and here relativity and different science theories and stuff, and I think a lot of it could be relevant, but I love that he's like diving into it like the fans do, and that's sort of he represents us. So Boyd's looking at the map a bit. Let's see where we're at. Okay, he wants Kenny to stay there while he goes to visit his wife. He's going to go visit her gravesite, so I guess that part really isn't important to us talking about it, but unless you guys have something to add. But it's
the first time we know where his wife is.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that.
Because there's only really one mention, and they kind of push it away. He kind of pushes away, like, don't talk about it. So we don't really know what happened. I mean, we still don't know what happened. We know she's dead.
Yeah. We know he goes to visit her. And was that the talisman? It looked like it was the talisman he was picking up. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a talisman, which is something I didn't notice before.
Wait, where'd it go? There. It does look like it. I don't know.
Yep.
Now Jane goes to the bar.
I think he was waiting for a sign, so he just had the talisman just in case, like Abby gave him a sign that set him off somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. Which probably wouldn't be the best idea, but he might go out after it. We don't know. So Jade goes into the gas station, into the bar, and he talks. This is the first time he talks to Tom, and Tom's alive here. As I was watching this, I was wondering, wouldn't it be interesting if Tom was dead then too? But he does interact with Jim later, so it wouldn't work. But
It'd be like the guy in The Shining, the barkeep.
yeah, like they don't, they're already dead or don't exist or whatever.
Yeah.
But they start having this conversation, and this is one of the things that I thought could be really important, could be part of what's really going on. But he starts saying about his company and about that he's the one that comes up with games and things, and that they're like a rat in the maze nibbling on cheese. But
with the little hand motion and rat noise.
Yeah.
Nibbling on cheese.
I love that.
The paradox.
Yeah, no, it's cute. Yeah. And he says that the immediate question is, how do we get home? How do we get out of here? But unless they know where they're at, he's saying they can't leave. And I don't know if that has to do with like wormhole theory or what. I'm not sure, because I haven't really read into those guys' theories that he's talking about. But he starts throwing around the dart, and it's like.
Yeah, he says it's like hitting a bullseye with your eyes closed, right? The strong line, maybe over here.
I don't know what the target is. I think it kind of would have been funny if he hit somebody. That's what I was thinking as he was doing it. That it would have been. I mean, not that I wanted him to hurt anybody.
He hits Trudy in the eye with one. Is that the comic relief?
Yeah, that could happen. That could happen. But he's saying that we don't know where the target is, but eventually people get tired and will give up because they don't know where they're at. And
so you all sit around drinking your acidic potato piss water that you call vodka.
Yeah. And he starts saying, you think you're going to be the one that figures it out. This is kind of like a little bit like adding all the science stuff, but like the conversation later that Kenny has with Acosta in the third season, because he thinks he's going to be the one, but Jade actually has a chance of being the one. I think is the difference. But he's saying, people like him, he's the one. We're the ones that designed the maze. We played with the cheese.
And I have my notes very Westworld.
Yeah, it is. He said, just sold the company for lots of money based on quantum computing algorithm. And he says it had the potential to, and then he stops talking. And I wonder, was that important? And we never found out what he was going to say about his company. I know last night in the chat, we were talking about his company, and is it important to the story that he was there?
There's many times when people pause on this episode with ... and they don't finish, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah, no, it does me too. I want to hear the end.
Tammy has one, but at least you hear a question at the end. Fatima has one, and you don't ever know what it is. Jade has one, you don't know what it is. It drives me batty.
Yeah, I know.
Because I'm like, with the potential to what? Tell me what the potential is.
Exactly. I wanted to know that. That drives me nuts. And it's almost like they were trying to tease us, because I do think that Jade's company, that whole thing was probably a red herring to make us think, well, maybe his company was responsible for this in some way. It's a quantum computing algorithm. Maybe it's a simulation, something like that. Yeah, and he just trails off. It has the potential to
find out.
I want to know.
And that's why, if this was in the first episode, or one of the first few, I would say that maybe it does mean that's what it is, but we don't really know. But they start talking about Schrodinger's cat and the paradox. And I'm sure if you know science stuff, people probably know what Schrodinger's cat is. But in case you don't, the experiment, you put a cat in a box, you put poison in the box. If you close the lid and you release the poison at a random time, you don't know whether the cat's alive or dead. So at that point, it's both alive and dead. That's kind of
like Jim.
Yeah, like Jim. But he's saying maybe they're the cat in the box, and that people outside are wondering if they're alive or dead. And and he, Tom was saying he taught philosophy and everything, but it made me start thinking about it, because what they're saying is true, that people outside the town don't know that. But we've talked about, could it be a simulation? Could it be an experiment? Could it be two different sides of entities fighting over trying to control the town, and it's their experiment? Or I know today we talked about on the other stream, could it be like two gods trying to control humanity and see what happens. Like it could be any of those kinds of things. But then I think it's funny when Tom says if the cat turns on the radio, you can people outside the box will know they're alive.
They know it's alive. Yeah, that's
And
what I thought about Tabby and Camden with that, because she did call her mom.
Yeah,
she's kind of like the cat that's outside telling people that she's alive.
Yeah, or when they get the radio started, like maybe they're afraid that it would go outside of the town or whatever, and that's why they shut it off. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that science stuff could be really important. And I don't know, the whole simulation thing, I could get behind that if they did it right. But I think most people probably would prefer that whatever's happening is really happening.
So how do you think they would do it right? What would you think?
I don't know. I guess I'm just saying if it's that it could be satisfactory. Like I don't mind the idea that this is some kind of video game, some kind of simulation. Or like if it ends up they're all dead, I'd be pissed. I don't know that they could do it right.
Well, it's not purgatory.
No, it's not purgatory. But I sometimes do like the idea of like, are they in a video game and they're hitting different levels and they get past a certain point, so something happens like livestock showing up or crops showing up or talisman showing up. So yeah, I don't know.
And Julie's favorite sus priest, the NPC character.
Right.
No, wait, what? Say that again?
Oh, do you want me to explain it? Like, there's a
what
priest.
Did you say? Julie's seeing. I don't think I heard what you said. Julie's seeing a priest. What?
Yes, Julie is seeing a priest. I don't know if she's seeing a priest. Are you seeing a priest, Julie?
No, yeah. No,
oh, Julie. I thought you meant
favorite priest. Her favorite priest of all in the show.
Right.
Okay, I thought you meant Julie in the show saw a priest, and that's why I couldn't figure out what you were talking about.
Yeah, it gets confusing sometimes. Yeah, but she was referring to
Julie B. This Julie.
She was referring to my interest
Julie B, then.
In the sus priest in Camden. Yeah.
No, that makes more sense.
No, because there's like a character that's like, open the lunchbox, open the lunchbox, open the lunchbox, till she does, and like knows that she had a son.
Yeah. I still tend to think that they just worded that wrong and made a mistake, but I don't know. Sorry, I'm just kind of skipping through it. So yeah, could it be an experiment or something? We don't know. So Dieter says, yeah, I think so far into the curse part to tell us how it's an experiment or simulation, maybe not in season 1, but definitely in season 3. I mean, that's the thing too, is we talk about like, things in dreams don't have to make sense, or in nightmares, and that they're maybe from a nightmare realm, but like a game could explain a lot of things, because games don't always go chronologically. They don't always make sense. Some of the weird shit that happens could follow it. So, I don't know. It's definitely a viable theory. I just don't know if they can do it right. So Sarah has a scalpel, and
close up on the scalpel for people that were on their phones or otherwise distracted.
Yes, there is the green scalpel, which I still have a problem with kind of sitting out when there's Ethan. Not that Ethan's usually in the clinic, but I mean, should leave it out when there's kids there. So then we have Ethan, who again is wearing yellow.
Yep.
But his mother comments about his leg healing really quick. Now, doesn't Marielle say Christy's leg is not healing quick? Because we know.
Oh, later on?
Yeah, because Ethan heals quick, and I'm trying to think, is there somebody else that I'm blanking on?
Ellis heals really quick.
Ellis heals really quick.
Yeah.
Although we don't know if the time is the same for everybody or what's going on with the time. But yeah, I think it's interesting that they heal. Like you said, maybe there's something in the water. But it sounded
maybe Christy isn't drinking enough water.
Yeah, maybe not. She's drinking something else.
But she is on crutches a lot. She's been on crutches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she's healing that fast at all. I mean, we just don't see much of her in season 3. Like she was kind of sidelined, but I mean, it doesn't seem like she's got the kind of fast healing Ethan has. She's still on crutches. She still has issues by the end of season 3. So I think the place picks and chooses who gets to heal fast based on who has a special role to play in the future. And so Ethan does. Jim after the house falls on him in season 2, he was limping around for the whole season, and I think it's because he was destined to die there. That was not going to be his role to do something else. Like, I think Ethan will have a special role, and that's why he's healing fast.
Yeah, and I don't think she's necessarily healing slow. She's just healing at a normal rate because not that much time passes. So, but I thought I somewhere had got that I thought she said she was healing slow. So I don't know. I'd have to find it. I was just going by memory. Excuse me. But he starts saying that he thinks the place is special and that it tries to hurt people, but could it try to help people too? And we've said before, and they've said that, that even Sarah says in the finale, the town doesn't give, it takes. But he's kind of questioning, is there anyone there trying to help? And I think she says something like, maybe that should be one of the questions on the wall. And because Ethan says it, I wonder if it's important. Like, is the boy in right really trying to help? I think that's what it's referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely that. I think he is trying to help, and that Ethan, like, that's a reference to that. Ethan doesn't know at the time, what entity's trying to help, but I think that's a hint. There is an entity here trying to help, and I do think it's the boy in white. Season 3 convinced me of that from what we saw. So I liked that he said that, and Ethan is always given significant dialogue. I think Ethan is always spot on. He seems to know how everything works here, like he does now with the story walking. So yeah, I think he's right. There's an entity trying to help.
Yeah. People ought to listen to Ethan more often.
Yeah, Ethan and Victor. People should listen to both of them more. Take them seriously.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, talk to Victor more about his time alone and know all about the place and figure things out. And look at that map. Look at that map in the pastry truck.
Yeah, nobody pays attention. They should be.
Yeah.
Even he's so little there.
I know.
Oh yeah, he's so young. Yeah.
But see, this is what kind of irritates me, though. I want to comment on here, and I guess it's more of like a set prop thing, the prop department, and maybe they're not thinking about it. But I've said this before. If it is so important that they have to nail the windows shut after what happened to that kid, why are none of the windows in the Matthews house on the first floor nailed shut?
Yep.
Airflow.
Tie the curtains up, because apparently they trust. Ethan's smarter than the stupid guy in Colony House. So I don't know.
I just want to know why Sarah just showed up out of the blue, and the
that's
a
little.
That's
little
cool.
I'm like, why are you there? Golden Child's talking about the priest. Back to what we were talking about before. Says these writers don't make that kind of mistake.
Yeah.
The priest definitely had new information about Tabitha. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see, but I just tend to think we're not going to see any more of that.
Or he could have gotten a vision. He could have got a vision from the boy in white or some entity, because he is a spiritual guy. Father Kadri did, so
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's important. I just don't think we're going to see anything else with the outside town, the part of Tabitha being gone. But I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dieter says maybe Ethan created this place in his dreams with Jade's tech. Yep. Everything mapped together.
The
right?
last shot is like a mastermind of Ethan on a computer.
That'd be funny.
He's like, the end.
Yeah. He's telling his story.
Yeah.
So
got his
Sarah
wizard stick.
Yeah, it does look like it.
He kind of gave up the crutch for the wizard stick. You don't see the crutch again.
Well, it's for his quest. Did you notice, and I guess probably everybody noticed this, but I didn't for whatever reason until today. I hadn't noticed there was a crutch in the opening credits.
Oh yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't notice that before. I don't know why, but I didn't. But she wants him to come out. She gets him to go out. They go on the merry-go-round. I felt like I go through this quick. Like, I don't want to make anybody.
These parents are so trusting of like the wrong people. I mean, it's just like,
yeah, I know. They're like don't
Victor,
go around Victor. He's dangerous. And then meanwhile they let him go everywhere with Sarah. You can't trust.
Yeah, but also have Julie. They didn't storm up the Colony House and take Julie away from Ellis's room, and that's really weird.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. So Nathan goes to find Kotri. We kind of mentioned.
So where are we on the merry-go-round? You want to say anything about the merry-go-round?
Yeah. Do you have anything here? I'll go back. Do you have anything else about the merry-go-round?
Oh, the merry-go-round. Well,
Yeah,
Color. There's
very
the
go
color.
round.
yeah. First of all, look at the creepy point of view shot from Ethan's perspective with Sarah looking into the camera. Extremely like ominous, and it seems like they really wanted us to focus on this. I don't know if it was this scene or the next part of the scene where it's eventually going to show like an aerial view of the merry-go-round. It's like I think the merry-go-round definitely symbolizes the cycle that they're all trapped in, that they're stuck on, and Ethan is the one pushing it, which is interesting. So, I mean, you could take it two different ways. I think, like, you could take it as symbolic that there are, children are kind of at the heart of it, powering the cycle, the sacrifice of the children. It's because it's odd seeing a child pushing the adult on the merry-go-round, and it seems like they really want us to notice that with more point of view shots from Sarah's perspective and then from Ethan's perspective in the next scene that will show them. So I think it's either a reference to the fact that children are kind of powering the cycle, the sacrifice of the children, or it's possible that Ethan could wind up being the man in yellow, and that's why it's symbolic. That's why he's pushing her on the thing. It could go either way, but I know a lot of people don't like that theory.
I don't know. They show it overhead. It makes me think of the wheel in Lost. So I don't know. There's like a big
I've
wheel.
never seen Lost, so it's new.
Yeah, I know. So it doesn't help you. I know.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that yet. If there's a wheel, I don't know.
Yeah, you'll get to it. You haven't gotten to the polar bear yet, then? You'll get to the
Oh, I
polar bear.
have.
Oh, you have?
Well,
Okay. Well,
Polar
It
Bears
all
is
sounds
season
crazy
1.
from the outside.
yeah, it does sound crazy from the outside. You're right. That's why Lost is. If you like From and you haven't watched Lost, go watch Lost. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't hate the ending. I mean, is it the best ending ever? Not necessarily, but I don't dislike it. I know some people do, but I think it's because I know on that documentary, the one thing they said, which I think is 100% true, is that you hear so many polarizing views on it and people getting so upset because it was so important to people. It's more about the fact that it wasn't what they envisioned and they get upset. And I think the same thing is going to happen with From. You're going to have people being like, I hate that ending. And it doesn't matter what the ending is, they're going to do that. But yeah, definitely if you haven't seen it, go watch Lost.
It seems like a Herculean task, Jamie.
No,
it's a lot. I've been trying since May to get through it. I started it in May, and then I only got to season 4. I started my channel, and I just, with all of the brain power, the energy that I'm using to focus on my channel, I've tried to go back to Lost, and now I'm lost. Lost has me lost. I need to go back and rewatch a few episodes of season 4 because I'm confused.
There's a lot.
Is that why it's called Lost?
Yeah, no, but that's why I think that if you like From, you'd like it because there is a lot to delve into. But obviously, there's a lot more episodes. And I don't know.
I didn't even know anybody involved with Lost was involved with From when I started watching From at all. So.
Yeah. And I don't know, the writers aren't, I don't know why people say it. I mean, it's because they advertise it that way, I think. I mean, like Jack Bender, yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's a big deal.
From Fringe, but they don't do it that way. I think it's just more like
they're like, they do. I've seen posters that they said from the creators of Lost and Fringe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, but this isn't Lost. This isn't Fringe. So people need to like chill. I mean, it could be a good thing. And I think it just means this was a popular show that did really good. So if you like that, you'll like this. But people take it the other way.
Yeah.
Golden Child says it's about there being an outside faction that works with Fromville. We could definitely see more of that in future episodes. And he's talking about the priests and everything in the outside town. Yeah, I'm not saying that we can't and shouldn't see that. I'm just saying I think the fact that we only have 2 seasons left, I don't think they're going to revisit where Tabitha went.
You don't think there's going to be anything from the outside?
I think there might be stuff from the outside, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be from Camden. I just don't think that we have enough time in the story. And that's where having a spinoff or having comic books or something would be good because I just don't see how they're going to finish this in 20 episodes. Like they have 20 hours. They're going to have to pick and choose. There's going to be a lot that's going to be missed unless they decide to make more. I mean, that's not to say that they can't say we decided we need 3 seasons. I mean, they totally could. I'm just, they haven't said that so far.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, it could be interesting. It could be interesting if somebody like just investigated it because it is a really weird thing from the outside.
Yeah,
These
yeah. They
people
wouldn't have
missing
a
and then
lot.
one showing up and then missing again. I mean, Tabby not only goes missing again, but 2 EMT guys and a cop go missing, and Henry goes
Mhm.
missing.
That's true.
It'd be a really interesting crime for somebody to try to solve.
Yeah. I think what they need to do is make 2-hour episodes. And then they can keep it to 2 seasons. But then we get 40 hours instead of 20. That's what I think. So you're
Yes.
listening writers, we
And
need 40
hopefully,
hours.
and hopefully,
Yes.
hopefully, an hour of it isn't a preview of some other show on MGM Plus.
Yes. Don't do that again. You
Yeah,
pissed
I
people
don't
off
like
too
that
bad.
very much at all.
No, yeah, a lot of people didn't. They could. It's Dieter says it so they could see outside like a colony house with porn stash. I don't know. I haven't heard him be called porn stash, but
Oh
they're
yeah, I
there.
have.
They're
Oh,
there
yeah.
like from the side into the house. They don't need to use wood to close them. I don't know. But they need to take care of it and make sure Ethan is okay. David says, whoops, what the heck did I click? 7 colors, 7 children are spinning cycles. I still want to know though, like if there were 7 sacrificed children, like where does the boy in white fit in, or does he have nothing to do with the sacrificed children? Don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
But go ahead, Julie. You probably have more to say about this than I do.
I think it's possible that he could have been maybe the 8th child who was supposed to be sacrificed, but he got away. I just think he's a similar entity. Like they appear to people only when they want to be seen by specific people. They can interact physically with the world around them, even though they're not like living beings. And there was a painting that Miranda did in Henry's basement that showed a merry-go-round with 7 kids on it, and 1 seat was empty. So I thought, well, maybe that was supposed to be the boy in white, and he somehow got away. Now, how like what happened to him after that? I don't know. That's the thing.
It does make sense too, because the Ankui kids were wearing white. It's just they look like a very dirty white because they were sacrificed, So it's like they were, and I don't know if white is supposed to represent innocence or maybe that even just like life, like they lost that and that's why they became so dirty. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
David says Victor's drawing of the wheel with the trees makes me think it represents the children who became the faraway trees or part of them, that their hope went into the roots. Yeah, I don't know. There's also that theory that the monsters or the trees are the monsters too.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't heard that one. Huh.
Yeah, because they were saying because of the fact that like the trees could transport people and that, and I think it was partially too because they don't always go where they want them to go and stuff, that they're like the monsters tricking them or something.
Like shapeshifter?
I don't know, but I think that the theory came from the fact that like they're so desiccated inside, kind of like a tree. I think that's where the theory came from. It wasn't my theory. I don't know. I just remember somebody at one point saying that.
And plus, like the cicadas could like gestate in them because they're dry like a tree.
Yeah, that would make sense too. David also says the boy in white could be the collective soul self personified of the 7. Oh, true. So Victor draws him in the middle of the trees. That's, definitely. Let's see, where are we? Let's skip through her here a second. He goes to see Cautry, but he doesn't see him yet, so we don't get that yet.
Do you think that's on purpose?
What, that he can't find him?
Well, I always think the father's sus, so, I mean, did he just conveniently not be there?
I guess it could be. Give me 1 second while you guys keep talking. I'm going to change. I'm getting hot.
Okay,
I don't know. I like Cautry though. I tend to think Cautry's good. I think he represents good, but I don't know. I mean, helping Sarah, whether that was good or not, is kind of up for debate. But
I think it was good. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just think in the beginning of Frank, he was more like throw Frank in the box. He didn't seem to be the kind of. He was kind of like a little bit more like, let's get it done. Instead of being like, it was be forgiving towards people,
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, but I think he's good. I think that sparing Sarah was good. I think that the rules are just different in this place. Like it's not, like they're not in a normal society. So what's good and bad? It's kind of, the definition is kind of different here. Say, and keeping Sarah alive, well, it was necessary to use her as an asset. So I think that was his purpose. And once his purpose was fulfilled, he dies. He gets killed off immediately. That tends to happen to people in Fromville. So I think he was supposed to be there for that reason. As soon as he convinces Boyd to keep her alive, boom, he gets his throat slit. So, but I think it was a good thing, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I did appreciate it that you left this shot of Ellis's butt on the thing when you went and did your stuff.
That's funny. Not intentional.
Okay, because I was like, you guys discuss. So I'm like, okay.
That's funny. No,
Looks
I
like
didn't
it's
even
been
do
working
that.
out. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just stay on the butt for a little bit. Since we have passed the 1 hour mark, so I just wanted to reiterate to everybody, please make sure, if you haven't, that you subscribe to the YouTube channel that you're in and that you like the video, and that you, whoops, I was trying to find, where the heck is that thing? I'm talking to myself as I do this. That you like and subscribe to the channel, and also you check out Julie's channel, which is in the description of the video. But also, because I didn't mention it earlier, I'm going to post, because for some reason I don't have StreamYard open because I don't know what I'm doing. Don't mind me. Anyway, I'm going to post the Discord link in the chat. If you haven't joined the Discord, please take a minute to join our Discord. We have our rewatches of these episodes Saturday nights. So before we, to kind of prepare for these not recaps, but these breakdowns. So if you haven't joined us, it's a fun party. And then, of course, we have our stream on Sunday. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention before I forgot, although it's not up yet, I'm hoping this week to get up that tree design I had showed you all, because I got Redbubble fixed. So I don't know. That might be coming soon. And that's just at store.fandomvision.com if you want to look. But it's not there yet. Right now, it's all Walking Dead stuff. So, but all right. Back to what I was saying. So, yeah, we got Elsa's butt. Out of that. So they go to the Brundles, and it's like their swimming hole. And it's supposed to be to cheer Julie up. But at the same time, she also tells her this really sad story about her family and how her father was killed, who was a cleric in Iran when she was 11 on her birthday. That would be a really crappy birthday. But that people came in to stop him, and that they shot him, and she was there and watched. I don't know if it's, thank you, Dieter. He's saying please like and subscribe. Thank you. I don't know if it's even, sorry, what?
Okay.
You're going to say something?
I wanted to say something before you got into all that.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. I told you, interrupt me if I say too much. Go ahead.
My microphone was muted when you were doing the promo stuff, and I didn't realize, and I was just talking to myself. So
okay. That's okay. Go ahead. Tell us now then what were you going to say?
No, but she says something I think is pretty poignant, because she says to Julie, not Julie B, but Julie in the show.
Yeah.
If you close your eyes and just listen, it's almost like being anywhere else in the world. And I thought it was kind of like story walking advice.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. I was going to say also, though, you did make me remember when you said that. I know you guys are going to have your own Severance live stream, but if people stay tuned, we're going to be doing Severance stuff. I don't know. I think ours might actually end up being on Monday. Might be doing it a little different, trying to decide what to do. But I know we're both covering Severance, so if people want to see that, stay tuned to all the Discords and social medias. When we do it, you'll hear about it. Because if you like From, I think you'll really like Severance. But back to this. She says that her father was a really good storyteller. I don't know if that's relevant at all or not.
Well, see, that's another thing, though, too, because she said, my father told me the story about ...
Yeah.
He was a really good storyteller. What story? Tell me what the story's about.
Yeah, but she's talking about how he told her, her mother told her to hide. I don't know. It just made me think of it kind of parallels, what's going on in the town and everything.
Well, I could read it. I could read it if you want, because it says here that It's like she had two older brothers. My father was a very outspoken cleric, which wasn't popular. One day it was my birthday. We were going to see my uncle. These men showed up, angry, shouting. My mother told me to hide, but I was so confused because we were just laughing. My father told me the story about. Well, he was a really good storyteller. I think that's what made him such an effective preacher. My mom was afraid. My brothers ran to the door and they were shouting too. My mom kept saying to hide, hide. I stood and I couldn't move. It was hard. The sun was so bright at the door when they drug him outside, and then there was this pop, like a firecracker, and then the silhouette fell down. And
Yeah,
it's
he sure
because
felt like her
Silhouettes is
father
the
was a
title of the
silhouette.
episode, which I find is really cool.
Yeah,
That's
she
one.
said he was a silhouette, and then the silhouette fall down. That's a really sad story.
It is really
Um,
sad, and I think I like Fatima's character better because she's seeing the positive, even though she has all this negative.
mhm.
Right.
And people put down county house people like, oh, they're just hippies and everything, but she's living her life to the fullest because she knows what else could happen.
Yeah,
She's
she
living
said.
her life for today because her dad died horribly.
She says there's always going to be monsters in the world. It doesn't matter where you are, but I promised I would never let them scare the life out of me. And I
That's such a
think that
memorable
that's
line. I love
it
that.
is, and I think that that's something that a lot of them in the town really could take to heart. Like they have to learn to live here and change the way their lives are. But this is
Hmm.
their new life, and like
Hmm.
you have to make something good out of it, or you're going to be miserable, and it's not going to change anything, you know.
Hmm.
But obviously, in this place, the nightmares and the monsters are a little more literal, maybe.
Hmm.
But yeah, bad things happen everywhere.
Hmm.
Uh,
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Okay, go, Julie.
I was just gonna say, yeah, and that it just gives so much insight into why she is the way she is. Now we
Hmm.
understand why she was able to say something to Julie, like when you climb up high enough, even a nightmare can look like
Hmm.
a dream. She's able to find positive even in the darkest situations, even in this nightmare,
Hmm.
and it's inspirational, really. It's I took personal inspiration from it for my own life. It really it speaks to you. I
Hmm.
mean, because yeah, we don't have literal monsters in life, but we have our own demons that we're dealing with,
Hmm.
our own struggles, and the fact that she's able to see the positive, it's so inspiring. Um, it really is, and it's just a shame that on the show this gets, taken away from her. It's because of what happened with the pregnancy. She'll never be like this again now.
Well, I don't
yeah,
Uh,
know. I mean, we'll have to see on that.
I don't. I think that being forced to kill someone like that's gonna
Hmm.
scar her permanently. I don't think she could ever be like season one Fatima. Not like
Hmm.
that again.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious if she's going to lose a lot of that light of hers. You know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I was also thinking what Donna said about like at least here you know who the monsters are. I feel like those stories are kind of parallel. That they both are making a life here because the real world's just as bad or can be just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But yeah, I wonder that a lot of them are going to like if they know. I mean, I wonder that she's going to lose a lot of her hope, her and Ellis, because of what happened to them. But I also wonder that like Tabitha and Jade, are they going to still be able to keep going because they, I mean, they know that they've done this over and over again, and it's not worked. They have to find a different way. But like, how many times, I guess, can you like why do I not have the link here? What the hell? Sorry, I'm like looking for something as I'm talking.
Hmm.
I'm just wondering how many times you can um like do the same thing over and over again trying to save these kids and it doesn't work.
Hmm.
Like they have it's got to be hard to keep that faith, that hope
Hmm.
strong without giving up. And I kind of
Yeah.
worry that especially Tabitha, like now she's lost
Yeah.
Jim, which is kind of
Hmm.
the point, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like, is it going to break them? I'm interested to see how they deal with it. I lost my picture thing. Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. So there's the merry-go-round overhead view, and it does look like a wheel. Like I hit like a ship's wheel or something, or like the wheel of Lost, whatever. But it's an interesting picture.
Time with spokes coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
It took
seat.
everlasting.
That has got to be an uncomfortable merry-go-round. I'll say that.
Yeah, it looks pretty uncomfortable, but a lot of playground equipment in like the 70s was.
Probably, yeah, but it does look very uncomfortable. He's asking Sarah about how long she's there. She's been there. She says she's been there a few months. So, oh wait, I see David. Okay, this is about what we were saying. David says the positive in the darkness, the silver lying in a cloud, the gold around a black circle, like the lake of tears, or the pure gold in the shadow self. Yeah, I mean, Fatima, and that's the other thing too. Like you have to wonder, not just will Fatima lose that hope, but what's going to happen to the town if she's not that ray of light? Like, will it break other people?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a toll because like Donna said that she wasn't going to tell everyone. She changed her mind. She won't tell everyone that Fatima killed Tilly because she said, I don't think they could take it because of what she means to this place. And I don't think I could take it either, she said. So I think it could really you know, taint the hope of everyone else. I think she was a beacon of hope for these people and positivity. So yeah. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm sure it can definitely affect
yeah,
everybody else too.
Like look at that. I mean, they showed us that aerial view of that iconic merry-go-round that they show in the opening credits of every episode. I think that it's definitely symbolic of the cycle that they're trapped in. It's beautiful visual representation of it.
It is. It's also, I think, an interesting juxtaposition, like you're talking about it being in the opening credits, that they show this child's merry-go-round, but if you look, like there's like a body slumped in front of it in the credits.
Yeah.
So it's very, innocence versus evil type stuff.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Thanks. Dieter says, who said to save the kids? Maybe it's too late, or do they need to save the new kids in town before a possible cycle ends? Like the boy in white maybe survived and got these special powers. I don't know. Who did first say it? I think Tabitha's the one that talked about they had to save the children, but I don't know. Was it Tabitha the one that did first? Or am I wrong?
It was it was to save the kids. I mean, well, Tabitha, she told Victor that she had been seeing these children following her around, and Victor said his mother went to the tree, said she was going to the tower to save the children. So that's how Tabitha got the message, with Victor relaying that to her. Like,
yeah, I think you're right. Well, there you go, Dieter. There's your answer. Julie remembered more than I did, so you usually do. David's saying too, which is true, Victor's paintings add more context. And I know they are in the paintings. Hey, Vanessa, thanks for coming. Oops, Fromaholics. I definitely feel like a Fromaholic. I'm addicted to this show. I think too much. Sometimes I think too much. I mean, I like it, but I feel like my brain's going to explode sometimes. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's see. So, I have written that Ethan says that his parents are trying to figure out what's going on. He tells Sarah that, and he says that that's what the crumb and uncle would do. And she asks what that is, and then that's when she says she's going to go show him the animals. She asks his parents to go look at the animals, and she tries to get Tabitha not to come with her. But Tabitha is like, no, it's no bother. I'll go with her.
In a strange turn of good parenthood.
I know. That's what I was
thinking. Looking at the window, making sure her kid's okay, but she wants to go with him. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a small town, very small town. Does it hurt to let the kids go around the small town normally? Maybe not, but like you don't know her that well. So
yeah, not this one.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think you skipped some stuff again. Because I have that.
What's missing?
Oh, wait, no, maybe you didn't, because I've written I wanted to take a screen capture, so maybe you didn't. It was just probably something really short with Jim. I just don't remember what exactly was in this scene. Hey, look, doesn't that say from right there? From ? Maybe that question means, what does the title mean? It could be trolling us.
Yeah, it does say from there.
That is hilarious.
Trapped in a show called From. Need to get out.
Yeah, but I think it says, where did they come from? Where did everybody come? I don't know, something.
Mhm.
Oh, the talismans. Where did the talismans come from?
Yeah,
How many are
talismans.
there? Can we make them? How do they work?
Yep.
Mhm.
And I think that is such an important question, such important questions that nobody's asking. And it's like, why is Jim the one thinking of this? And why doesn't he tell people? Like, I have still never understood why they didn't try to make more talisman. Like, even if they can't test them and they don't know, at least make extra talisman and put them places. So if something happens, I mean, if you have a fake talisman or whatever, is it going to save you? Maybe not, but you have another chance that it might. So have extra. If something goes wrong, I would. Personally, I would.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Sure.
Or
Okay,
try drawing the stuff that's on the talisman, like Ellis was doing on his pants.
yeah,
Right.
maybe that's
Just
why
try
he
different
killed
things.
Casper. Who knows?
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, it says creatures, can they be killed? Does light kill them? And why so slow? And then he has something marked about the buildings. Yeah, I don't know. That's the part I can
Yeah,
read
see,
now.
I thought in the third season they were gonna get a monster out in the light.
Yeah, it would have been cool. But there he's talking about the old buildings, the town. See, there's so many things. Like, I wish they would release a picture of the whole wall. I know they won't, but
I know. I
going
want to
back,
see it more clearly. It's frustrating.
it is. But that's why I said it makes me think of the hatch door. I don't know if you've gotten to the wall yet.
Yes.
And
Oh
Lost.
yeah.
I think I had mentioned this before, but that picture of when the lights are off of the hatch, like
Yep.
you had a puzzle. I had bought this Lost puzzle, and on the back of it, if you use black light, you could see it. So you had to like keep shining black light on it to see it. But they had like the whole map on the huge back of the puzzle. If you put the puzzle together and glued it together and flipped it over. So I wish they'd do something like that. That was cool because then you got a good look at it. I remember at the time I took lots of pictures of it after I fixed it.
Yep.
Yeah, but
That's funny.
does that Reddit page have everything that Jim wrote?
I don't know if it's everything or not. I mean, it's what
Mm.
that person had gotten off of it, but I'm
Yeah.
sure there's some they missed. Just like people taking the picture of the map. It's
Yeah.
like it's not high enough quality for you to accurately be able to read it. And I'm sure there's pieces we missed too that they didn't even show
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
as a set piece.
It's like a tease. They don't want us to be able to see it all. That's
Yeah, definitely. So Boyd goes to his wife's grave, Abby, and this is where we get a little bit of his backstory. And
this is like beautifully shot.
it is. It's very beautifully shot. And he's talking about his Parkinson's, his tremors. Although I don't think he names what it is at this point, but he says that it's starting. That like his dad had, and the clock's officially ticking. This is the thing, and I don't know if I'm just blanking out and not remembering, or if this is something they never went back to. But when he starts talking about his idea that he has, and this crazy idea that might actually work, and he needs a sign. And like later on in the episode, he gets the sign. What was that idea referring to? Or does it just get like tabled because of everything else going on? Or am I just forgetting for some reason?
Wait, forgetting the sign that he's looking for?
No, I know what the sign is, but what was his idea that the sign was supposed to tell him for? Like, what was it that he wanted to do?
To go out into the woods. Yeah, he's
okay. That was my
to go out further.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I couldn't remember, and I'm like watching this. I'm like, what were they talking about? I couldn't for the life of me remember. This I gotta say though, this conversation makes me think about the movie Signs, and I don't know if it's intentional or not. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It's about aliens, but he's talking about taking a swing big. It's like this whole thing with like a baseball bat. It just totally reminded me about it, especially because he's saying about signs that he could use one. So I don't know. Maybe it was just meant to be kind of a joke, but that's an M. Night Shyamalan weird film.
I haven't seen it though, but I know what it is.
It's really good. But it's old, obviously. It's not that new. Let's see.
It's a good one. I like that movie. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I liked it too. Okay, so Nathan finally finds Kotri, which maybe if he had found him sooner.
He's in Fromville, Stonehenge.
Right.
Stonehenge, which looks, thinking about it now, no, we didn't know this back then, but doesn't that look a lot like the Stonehenge at the, as you say, Cannibal Village? Except they're bigger and there's a red one, but I'm just saying, like, it reminds me of that.
It is mirrored. It looks like it's similar. So maybe it's just a normal thing to have the circle of rocks.
I don't know.
When you make a settlement.
I don't know, but he's talking about like basically how beautiful the place is that's in the middle of that, the awful place. But he asks them, what are the rules? If I tell you something, will you keep it to yourself? And as a priest, and he's like, yeah, only between me, you and God. So he decides, well, we don't know yet, but he does decide to tell him. And he says it's bad. And then they flip back to Ethan and Tabitha and Sarah and the goats. And this is where we meet Alma. I don't know which one Alma is. Probably that one.
I think it's that one because Nathan's like, wait your turn, Alma, or something, and he is motioning towards that goat. So I think that's her. Superstar.
But it's nice we get to see Alma because Alma comes back obviously in season 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes very important. So then Sarah's having a conversation with Tabitha, telling her it's okay, to be scared and afraid, and you'll be surprised how quickly this becomes normal. And we get the conversation from the other side of Tabitha saying, I don't want it to be normal. I want to go home. I'm not accepting this. And I feel like, we've heard that of Acosta. We've heard that of everyone. And even Kenny had said when Acosta was saying, everybody goes through this. And I think they do. I think everybody thinks that they can fix it. They can make it better. And then just like Jade said, eventually they get tired of it. And they'll quit trying, or they'll give up, or they'll accept that they're there. Which is another way, the town kind of breaks them. But
yeah. And Sarah's got her hands in her pockets, completely suspicious.
Oh,
yeah, right. She starts talking about how now they have the talisman and how before they didn't, and starts talking about hidden places that they had to go when they didn't have talismans. And I have to wonder, the more I thought about this, she gets Tabitha to go in, she pushes her into the back of the barn and locks her in there so she can't get out. Do you think that will ever come back, like the places? Because it just seems like foreshadowing, like that they'll have to use them again at some point. At least it did to me.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's a really good observation, because if they do need to use them, that would be a good place to shoot again.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just the fact that she mentioned them, and I it was a place to push Tabitha, but it sounds like these places are all over the town. It's kind of interesting that I guess when they were running from, but then again, it was all new people mostly that were running from them in season 3, so they might not know about them. Only Tabitha did. But I don't know. I kind of feel like if I was Tabitha, as much as that was like a bad thing that happened, I would be telling my kids about these hidden places in case.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you don't want to scare them, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I'd be telling them.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, she shoves her in it. And
she's like, look, walk in further, look in the back, look.
Yeah.
Tammy's a little naive in this game.
She's very
naive. She really is. Look at her with her hands in her pockets. Like she's not exactly subtle.
I'm like, oh, look, is that? Oh, I thought that's the tail. I thought he was holding its hand or its leg. It looked like he made it shake hands. But
he looks like a shepherd.
Yeah, I go, hey, maybe there's meaning to. Now, why is that rock painted? I never noticed that until now.
I don't know if that's painted. It might just be natural rock color.
Or a shadow.
You know what? It's it could be, but it's like a white rock then, I guess. But you know what? The colors remind me. Remember you asked me earlier, Scarlet, what that box was in the background?
Yeah.
It was painted those colors. So I don't know if it's
I asked Jamie about the box. We talked about when Sarah and Nathan are walking out, and there's that thing that maybe a storage unit painted green and white, but it could be a painting.
Well, it definitely.
I don't know if Julie remembers it. I don't know if she's here.
I'm trying to remember what you're referring
just to. In one of the backgrounds, it was just like it had like a bluish green stripe across it. To me, it looked like
kind
a
of
white
odd.
thing they didn't finish painting. But
yeah, I don't remember that. What scene was that in?
It was when Nathan comes up to Christy and Sarah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that thing in the background that looked painted. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me of the colors on the rock.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'll help you. Let's go. I'll keep my promise. I don't know what he intended to do. I know he's only cares about saving the people of the town, but I'm curious how he was going to do that without telling people what he found out. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would have went, but
Yeah. I found it strange how easily he agreed to protect Sarah and make sure, like what did Nathan tell him that convinced him Sarah is needs to be protected at all costs from the box?
well,
I find that
I don't
super
know.
interesting.
Do you think it's from something Nathan said, or do you think that he just realized it because he found out Sarah hears voices? Like, I kind of feel like Nathan probably just said, Sarah's hearing voices and she's going nuts and she got these people killed, and now she's going to do something else. Like, I don't know that he said, Sarah, you need to protect Sarah. I think he's just worried she's going to go off the deep end.
Yeah, but she also told Nathan, though, the entity had talked to her and told her to make it look like the monsters didn't do it. So he told that to the priest. He'd be kind of like, maybe we should keep her because she's kind of got like a
crazy streak.
Yeah,
no, I mean, no communication straight to the entity.
Yeah.
right. Because then he goes from this to like protecting her, stashing her in the basement. So I mean, he must know something. Like Nathan must have told him something about how Sarah can communicate with some entities, and for Contrary to actually keep his word, say I'll keep my word. She won't go in the box, and then he stashes her away. He lies and says that she got away later in this episode, and he stashes her. So
Yeah. I guess my point is that I don't think he told her asked him to protect Sarah, though. I think he just told her what happened, and that to him was important when he found out she could hear.
I guess we'll never know because he didn't see
Yeah,
it.
you're right. We'll never know.
He didn't have to use our imaginations.
Yeah, so they go after him. There's where they are in the barn. She gets Tabitha, go to the back, and then shoves her in.
It's kind of comical in its own
way.
way.
It is kind of comical when we're rewatching it back. I was like, let me out. No, Tabitha's like, no.
Yeah, oh my god.
Let me out. No. So she's yelling, trying to get out.
Yeah, nobody can hear her except Jim later, which is weird.
Yeah, I know. You would think somebody would be able to. So Katri and Nathan are on the way. They know something's going on, trying to figure it out. Boyd's there. Let's see.
Boyd inconveniently comes in and wants to talk about serious philosophical stuff with father here.
Yeah, he says he's asking about how would I know if I saw a sign, and meanwhile he's told Nathan to go get his sister, and it hasn't done anything more than that, which maybe wasn't enough. Right. Then let's see. Okay, so he talks to Boyd, and then Nathan comes into the diner. He's still looking for her. She comes over. She talks.
Yeah, Tom tells him to go, which I feel Tom is sus.
Yeah. Strange. But she tells him, she says that what's about to happen is going to save everyone, just like in one of your stories, and you're going to be the hero. And I got to give the little man credit. He at least knows something's wrong, and he's like, where's my mom? Yeah. He's like, something's up. Sarah's weird. And she's like, I'm doing this for her. And he just is like, because she says this is how we go home, but he's just like, where's she at? So he knows something's wrong. And then Nathan comes up and tells Ethan to run. Meanwhile, she's still screaming.
I was going to say, I like shots like this because it's like they're all the way over to the right, but then the doors of the open doors are behind them. Mm-hmm. They're never shot in the middle. They're always shot with these really interesting aesthetic sides.
Yeah, I remember Jack Bender had talked about that in our show, like that they purposely don't film it in the center of the frame. Mm-hmm. I wonder, I can't remember if they said why, but I wonder that it doesn't like subconsciously give you like a sense of unease doing that.
Yeah. Well, did you ever see Mr. Robot?
Parts of it. Yeah, I never saw the end.
The way that it's shot. When they have those shots that are like really low, or they're just like in a way that they're extreme, like extremely high or extremely weird.
Yeah.
You should watch Mr. Robot, Julie, because they shoot it. like some of the shots, severance shots when they're kind of weird or they're kind of a little high or kind of a little low. This one's really high,
Yeah.
really low. It's like really extreme, and it makes you feel really uneasy.
Ooh,
It's
interesting.
interesting
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
much.
we can put that on the extra long list.
It's
Yeah, I
interesting
just added it.
how much they put into things like that. Like that, most of the time you don't even think about. Most people don't think about.
Well, you think about a Mr. Robot because it's so extreme. Because it's like, what
Yeah.
is this? It's hard to watch it sometimes because the angles are so like crazy.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Well, there's the scalpel, a close up of it.
It makes another close
So
up.
you knew I'd have a close up of that.
Oh yeah, several close ups, 3 close ups of this thing.
Yeah.
Just in
Yep.
case you forgot.
Yeah. So she grabs him. He knows something's wrong. Nathan comes up. Let him go. Let him go.
Really horribly unfortunate.
Yeah, tells Ethan to run. And Sarah's like, no, no. And then he tries to pull away. And she's like, I got to do this. And meanwhile, Tabitha's like, no, 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 no.
No, I can't. Oh my god.
So Ethan gets away. Sarah turns. And this is why you don't run with scalpels in your hand. And she turns and slices his throat.
Yeah, I love how he just kicks her.
Yeah, and he's just like, what have you done? Got this look like, what have you done?
It seems to be an entity's favorite way of killing people, so.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about
right
that.
Right in the neck.
Yeah.
It's happened to 3 different people now. Father Cautry, Nathan, and Jim.
Yeah, definitely. Although those were with claws, not with scalpel, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sarah doesn't have claws.
No, I know. I'm just saying. So Cautry's got like an interesting look on his face. I feel like in this scene, like totally
I thought so
blaming
too.
her,
Yeah.
and kind of like Nathan warned me what you were gonna do. Like he's not surprised. I don't know. It's just an interesting look. I'm not exactly sure what it means, but it's interesting.
I thought that too. Yeah. Interesting facial expressions.
I find it very mysterious. All the things
it kind of looks.
does.
I think they were kind of trying to lead us in a direction of thinking like maybe Cautry looked like sinister the way he was looking at her. So I feel like maybe it was a red herring because I don't think Cautry is a bad person or anything like that.
No, I don't think he is either. I'm just not sure what that look means. Maybe he made a decision that he's going to do something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But they're coming back from the Brundles. Julie's happy. Everything's great. And then they hear Ethan crying, whining. I'm not sure if I'd call it crying, but
what's interesting about this is that he didn't go to Jim. He went to Julie.
Do you think he went to Julie or do you think he just ran? I think he just ran and kind of ran into her, I figured. I hadn't really thought about it until you just asked that.
This is further away, right?
Yeah.
This is further away than his house was. So it's odd that he ran there, right, Scarlet?
Unless he knew he wasn't there. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't even, what the heck? Something auto-corrected in my in my text. I have something about blue parapets. I don't know what it was supposed to be. Something. It must have been about something somebody was wearing that was blue. I don't know. But but you're right. He probably should have went to the house. It might have been closer, but he didn't. And Julie's like, takes care of him. And I like that Ellis picked them up and they run. And meanwhile, Jim
can hear her for some reason. Nobody else can.
Yeah.
Right. She's not only yelling, but she's banging on the barn.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising that nobody did.
Everyone else was just standing there staring at Nathan's body.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because they had the guy with the Tupperware and the guy with the cup, and they act like it's a casual brunch out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just hanging out. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the stuff in the chat's referring to. I think I missed something on the continuation of what we were saying. But Golden Child says Smiley, and CT Vive says it's 5 people because the Smiley and the ambulance medic when Tabby returned. I'm not sure what that was in reference to that we said. I guess about how many people came back. Oh, how many people they slit their throats.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget one of our favorites?
The guy in the ambulance, yeah.
Oh, hot
EMT
EMT.
Hot
Who
EMT.
Yeah,
got one?
how can we forget?
You know, it's like that guy on his credits in his his thing says extra or whatever, and he needs to put hot EMT.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we can fix IMDb.
yeah.
Yeah, we could.
Good. So Jim is actually helpful, which doesn't happen a lot, but he's helpful there.
Oh yeah,
But meanwhile,
there's a guy with a Tupperware container.
that's funny. Tabitha's like, where's Ethan? Where's Ethan? And they're looking, and she's just telling
Here's
Jim.
a guy. Here's the casual guy with a cup of coffee just hanging out and chilling behind.
Yeah, they're just watching the murder and chilling,
Yeah, that's fine.
relaxing. Everybody comes running down. More red shirts, more people we don't know. Tabitha comes running, finds them. Okay, Ethan's
a lot of
fine.
younger people in the first season for some reason.
Yeah, there is. So Christy comes way too late to try to help Nathan. Like, it's not going to help. I love how there's like this goat chilling in the background when all this is going on. Like the other goats somehow disappear, probably from all the noise. And that may even be like just really what happened. It might be like the other goats got scared of the noise, but that goat or that cow or whatever was just like chilling out in the background.
Doesn't care.
Yeah. Whoops, my mouse is not. I think it's going dead.
It could just be a bad actor goat, because I was watching a very long documentary about the movie The Witch, and apparently Charlie the goat was a really horrible actor, so they would just like really mean, and when he'd sleep when he was supposed to rear up, he'd rear up when he was supposed to sleep. So a lot of times they would just leave him in the back. Like, this is what Charlie wants to do right now, so we're gonna shoot it this way.
That's what I mean. It could even just be a filming thing. Like maybe the other goats didn't like the noise of everybody yelling when they're acting the scene, and that one's just like, nope, I'm eating. I'm good.
Let me little the grass.
Yeah. Forrest Autumn has a point in saying the cow's throat was slit too. So technically, that's 6.
Yeah. So it is a kind of modus operandi then.
Yeah. Which is interesting. Whoop! I got a beep from somebody. What was that? I don't know. Whoever that was that beat me, I don't know where it went. I lost it. I hate where like you hear a notification and then you can't figure out.
Now I'm seeing a 12 in the grass.
A 12.
Yeah, I'm seeing like
you tilt your head sideways. Yeah, it does kind of look like 12.
Yeah, I see a 1 by Nathan's head and then a 2 by Christy.
You mean like right? Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Like right there.
Oh,
yeah, a 12. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of does look like a 12.
It does. It looks like a weird rectangle too. Maybe it's the way they planted the grass. I don't know. It's just bizarre.
It's where the portal is.
Yeah, maybe. He's like, he's dead. And Audrey's like, she's gone. And it's like, yeah, I don't think so. But he's down there.
He did a good job faking that he ran off after her and he couldn't catch her. Like, he didn't say anything, but he just shook his head. It was obvious, like he was pretending. She ran off into the woods and he couldn't catch her. He stashed her away quick. Wow. Like
he did. Because he had to have done it then. And unless he runs after her later and finds her, but I tend to think it happened then. But I love the line that was in this scene because he's like screaming at him, you say this is Mayberry and like act like this is a safe place. And I think it's funny though, whenever he's like, if she comes back before dark, we'll handle it. If she doesn't, then it's handled.
Yeah.
We don't gotta do anything then. And he's like, hey, this is a big problem. Ethan's upset, understandably. So Julie takes him upstairs. And then
reads in the Karma knuckle that she calls it Karma what's it?
Karma what's it, yeah. And then so let's see.
It makes me think that she might have write that book eventually. She might write that Karma knuckle book under another name.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. There's more open windows that aren't bolted shut. So Tabitha's going to add her part to it because she says, you want all the questions. And he says, yes. And then, of course, she puts, did we survive the crash? And, of course, that just brings up people. Are they dead? And we'll get lots of those questions, which they're not. They've told us. So it's kind of irrelevant, I guess. But
well, they said it's not purgatory. They didn't say it wasn't hell or heaven.
Well, no, they said they're not dead, I think, didn't they?
They said it's not. I didn't watch all the interviews, but I did watch the one where they said it's not purgatory and it's not a dream. I don't know if they said in another interview that they're not
I
dead.
think they said something like if they're not dead or that it's really happening or something. It's possible though I'm mixing it up with what the Lost writer said, but I thought that's what they said, something to that effect. But I don't know. I'd have to go back to. I feel like I need to go back through all the transcripts of the writer or the shows of the writers and transcribe them, and then you know exactly what they said. Forever Autumn says the milkman monster is underrated. That was very scary. It was. I didn't like when he slit the cow's throat. Like, that was mean. Like, why kill the cow? I mean, I get why they killed the cow, but like, you don't gotta hurt the poor cow. It didn't do nothing.
Right, that was another one too that had its throat slit in addition to the people. I didn't like that. I felt bad for the cow, and it also was not a very realistic CGI effect. It was kind of crazy, but I just didn't like seeing it.
Well, that made me feel a
I
little
don't-
bit better. I mean, if it's
I don't
not
ever like-
realistic.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still don't like them ever hurting animals. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it wasn't realistic. So Christy is talking to Boyd, and she's saying it's her fault because she took her scalpel, and then also she told Sarah that she would do anything to see her girlfriend again. So she feels responsible, and we talked about that earlier, that she shouldn't have said that, really. And then Boyd gets a sign because, he tells her to cut herself some slack, and then the song comes on, "If I Had a Boat." On the radio.
How long has she been there? Like 6 months?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. I didn't know how long the differential between Boyd and her was.
I think Christy did say around 6 months at some point in the series. Yeah,
But Boyd's been there like
Boyd's been
years.
there a couple years.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years for Boyd.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in the end of the episode. This one went a lot quicker. We don't have a chatty chat. That's why.
It's the off season. Yeah, it's happening on my lives too. It's just
but somebody said there was another watch party, so I don't know. Maybe it was because of that.
So
that also factors in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of the song? Do you think there's any clues in that song?
Oh yeah. If I had a boat, I mean,
I mean, we know about Boyd's boat, but
right. I mean, for one thing, I think that it was. I think it was the evil entity that said that. That I don't think that was Abby's spirit that sent him that sign, because I think that it wanted him to go out in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where he gets the worms. He brings them back to town. It winds up turning into the cicada entity. And remember later, at the end of season 2, Sarah could hear voices in her head saying, "It's laughing at you for bringing it to town." She said that to Boyd. So I honestly think that song came on to encourage him to go out there and do that, get the worms, bring them back to town, because that cicada entity was threatening everybody's lives. Nobody could even go to sleep safely. Like they were all preparing to die. So that's what I think about that song coming on. But as for the lyrics, I don't know. I mean, that's the lyrics are pretty interesting and strange.
Yeah, a lot of people though, I think, think probably that it has to do with the water, because we've talked before about the pictures, the drawings of the flood and everything. And is something like that going to happen? I don't know. But obviously, if it does have meaning, it's the stuff that's to come. Not with anything we've seen now.
Yeah, I hope there's a scene of Boyd riding a pony on a boat.
Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be cool.
Because I always think of that picture of the flood with the arches with the old ruins, and I just think of him like, that's the end. The finale scene is him sailing in the sunset on a pony on a boat.
That would be
Yeah.
Like a cowboy hero.
Yeah, not sure it's going to happen, but it would be funny if it did.
I find it so sad, honestly. I find the song so sad, and especially when we see Boyd's flashback later where he's listening to the song and you hear the lyrics. And it just sounds to me, the song kind of encapsulates this concept of an impossible dream, because like riding a pony off on a boat, like that's something that could never actually happen. And it's just to me, it's tragic. Like, he got his boat after his long military career. He wound up in Fromville. He had to actually kill his own wife, and right before he kills her, they I think she sings "If I Had a Boat," a line from "If I Had a Boat." It's so tragic. The whole thing. It makes me
is.
sad for him.
Yeah, definitely. Autumn's saying, I think always think the songs are to mess with them. Boyd's trying to comfort Chrissy about her guilt. Then we hear a song connected with his wife, which he literally sang to her before he shot her. And it's
Yes,
cruel. Yeah, I mean, it's just another game they're playing, another way to break Boyd.
exactly. Remind him of something he lost, and also trick him into thinking, "Oh, this is my sign from Abby. I should go out there and do this." And yeah, and when he's out there, I might add too, when he does go out there with Sarah in this season, Sarah hears a voice in her head that she says is different from all the others. It's female, and it's tell Mr. Fishinloaves I was wrong. There are things out here that are worse than the monsters. I think that was the real Abby spirit speaking to him, saying, in other words, turn back. This is a mistake. There are things out in the woods worse than the monsters. That's what I think Abby's spirit was telling him. That this was not her telling him he should go out there. I don't think this was his sign from Abby. I think it was the entity messing with him, encouraging him to go out there and do that, so he could bring that entity to town.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that makes a lot of sense. Like I hadn't really thought about it, but it does precede of all the bad shit that goes down.
It does.
With the worms and everything. So like it definitely makes sense. It's from the other side, as you could say, the bad entities, whatever you want to call them. David says, I also posted the town map with the side view of the brain, colony house, like pineal gland, town, pituitary gland, and the pond would be the pawns in the middle of the brain and the brain stem.
Oh,
Let me see if I
interesting.
can find. Is it in? I assume that it might be in my Discord if I can find it.
Let's see. I think he posted it. He might have posted it in my. Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me look.
Oh, he posted it. Sorry, I keep like really yawning, and I'm trying so hard not to. They're pictures, but they're really small pictures. But let me drop this in. Whoa, I lost my StreamYard there for a second.
Oh,
Where's my? I got too many windows. I always have too many windows. Like this is nothing new.
me too. I do that too.
If I take, why is it showing me that? What the hell are the screenshots we're looking at? Sorry, don't mind me, people. I'm just trying to figure out where the heck the photo is. Okay, it's on the other monitor. That's what I get for using two monitors.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm confused. I can probably drop this in here. No, can I drop this in here? I don't know why. That's something like with this Windows. Like it won't let you drag it from one window to another, and it shouldn't do that. There's the picture he's talking about, I believe. That sword is shaped like a brain. At least I think, Dave, you don't have to tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what he's talking about. There's a couple different pictures.
That's
and then he
interesting.
has different anatomies of a brain.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Where does that map? Whose map is that though?
That's in season 3 that was shown for the first time. I believe it was the first time in Victor's peach truck on the wall.
Okay. I couldn't remember because I know we were looking at the map earlier on the other show and I couldn't remember which was which. But let me ask you a question I never noticed until now as I'm looking at this. The trees. I'm assuming those are trees of the forest. Do they look familiar?
They look like the runes, don't they?
Exactly. And I never noticed that until now. And I'm wondering if like we're all looking at these talisman, which obviously have something important on it, and we think they're runes and they're actually represent trees. That maybe they're faraway trees. I don't know. I had never thought about that. And now I'm looking at that and I'm thinking those look a lot like that rune.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, they could represent trees on the talismans as well. And it would make sense to me because the forest kind of seems like a character unto itself in the show. And they like it's kind of sentient, in some ways. This place can get angry, supposedly. Like it gets angry for coming at Boyd and Sarah for going out into the woods. It's angry at you, that's what Sarah said. Like this place is angry now. The boy in white told her in her head. Ethan was right. This place is angry now. So
yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up this picture, and I know that I don't know if we can go big. Yeah, guess we can.
Yep.
Where the picture that I looked at had more drawn on top of it. Is there an updated version of this?
Well, this is
I hear crying. Is that a baby or is that a cat?
that's my cat.
I wasn't sure.
A lot of people think that it might be a baby. She's a
It sounded like a baby.
tortoiseshell calicos are very loud and vocal. But yes, this map here, this is a cleaned up version of Victor's Peach Truck map that somebody redrew to make it easier to see different landmarks in it.
I don't understand how they saw it so clear though, like how they knew what it said. I just wonder because we were looking at this earlier on the other show, and I'm like, that looks so much clearer. But what I find interesting, and I know this isn't what we were talking about, and it isn't what David mentioned. I'm just bringing it up because I saw the map in the Discord. But like, okay, is that the pool at the hotel, or is that, I can't figure out where things are supposed to be, but if it looks like maybe that's the truck in the pool because there's the hotel sign, right?
Yeah, yep, I see that.
So that I find it interesting. We were saying, like, are these arrows supposed to be the faraway trees, like where they go? I find it very interesting if like that tree, he knew that tree went to the pool. Like maybe he knew that, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I was just thinking about it earlier. I also think this right here looks like a hand, but that might be the way the person redrew it. I don't know.
Yeah. It kind of does.
It does. And then the other thing we were talking about, like I said, this was all on Squawking Dead. Once that goes out, I'll send the link, or I'll post the link somewhere so people could see it. But talking about like this round thing too, and is it a snow globe? What does it represent? And like I think it looks like the surface, the town, and then like the underneath part with like the tunnels and that. But the one thing somebody pointed out I hadn't even noticed is like, why is there stuff or buildings on the outside of the circle? Unless like that represents like the real world or something. I don't know. It's a lot I want to look at and investigate further.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I love that somebody made that map. I think it's so nice because the Peach Truck map just drives me crazy trying to see what's in there with all of that mess. It's
we need promo photos, 4K photos, something. I don't know. We definitely need something. So let's see. David Golden Child says David says that he was talking to David. Sorry, Boyd also said he was stuck in the chimney and it has medical reference to human brains. That was just, he was talking to him. Sorry. Might be super important since a teenage boy in white showed up to stop Victor from chopping the tree down. I don't know if she's talking about the faraway tree I was mentioning on the map, or if that was in reference to something else. But yeah, obviously can't cut that tree down. I mean, that might be the way that gets him home. I think that tree is very important.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, interesting. I'm not sure. Scarlet, I know, said she was leaving for a second, and I think she's still gone. I'm not sure if she made it back yet.
Yeah, I love that the braid imagery. I hadn't thought of that, but looking at that map again, that did remind me of a braid. And what is it with these all of these highbrow shows using braid imagery? Severance does it too. So
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably cool.
Yeah. The art department on this show is just stellar. The stuff that
it totally is. Well, we've reached the end of the episode. Unless you have anything else I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to add. Like I said, I think that this episode shows a lot of different theories of what the town could be, like with all the stuff Jade's talking about. But whether it is or not, I don't know. But I think that stuff's really interesting and important. And I think obviously Jim's wall is really important.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I kind of liked your theory about like the entity destroying the house so they wouldn't have all the stuff written on the wall.
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit. That's not my theory. I happened to. No, I don't want to take credit for it.
I never heard about it before. And
I hadn't either. And that's why it stuck out to me. Sometimes I just kind of troll Reddit and read some things and I happened to catch it. And I'm like, it was when I was looking for, it may have been in that Reddit post that I was reading. Now that I thought about it or think about it, I lost my window where it was at. It might have been there.
Yeah, I like
okay.
to read that. I'd like the link to that so I can actually read it myself because I like been trying to
Yeah,
read little bits and
I'll
pieces with
post
that.
it. I'll post it in the chat here. I mean, it took me like I just Googled it and found it. I put something like from MGM Jim's wall or something like that. But there's the link in the chat if people want to look at it. And it tells what it says. Yeah, I don't know if that was where it was or not. Show creator talking about the runes. Maybe it was in the. It might have been even in the comments. I don't know. You'd have to read it, but I saw it. Oh, wait, here. This person, Earthrock, said, I believe the house was destroyed to hide a question he asked, and they may not have found it by now. If you ask yourself, why was the house destroyed? It really doesn't make sense that an easy passage for monsters to enter would be why it was destroyed. So, yeah, I must have got that from the comment, I'm guessing. But,
right.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff there. I just wish we had a screen capture. Did you, Scarlet, she disappeared. I was going to ask her about the what we just talked about, the talisman, and then she disappeared.
She was probably tried every time she tries to look something up while she's on StreamYard on her iPad, it kicks her off. Then she has to come back on. Yeah.
Well, while we're waiting for her to come back,
I'm sure she'll pop back.
Yeah, she probably will. We have passed the 2-hour mark now. We're going quicker than normal, but if you are here, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, like the video, check out our playlist on SciFi Vision with all our from live streams like this, from interviews. And there's also under the video tab, lots of other interviews too that you should check out. And be sure to check out Julie's channel, which is in the description of the video. And also, because I always forget to say it, like I said before, I was reminded this last night. Make sure if you haven't, you also check out, as you can see in the bottom of the screen, scifivision.com, because that's the website that all the interviews reside on, even the ones that aren't video, because they're not all video. So,
right.
Yeah, but I'm about, unless people from the chat have more to add or you have more to add, my brain is fried tonight. But I know you're going to be doing Severance live pretty soon for the new episodes. I will be too. I think that me and Karen are going to do it, I think, on Mondays, because I tried to get a time. I know you can't avoid everybody's show, but I at least didn't want to do it during your shows. I think I picked a time you did them. But
yeah, we're going to do it. You guys probably do things earlier anyway. We do ours at 10, so we're doing ours at 10 p.m. on Mondays. So.
Oh, your Severance thing is. I thought yours was another day. Why did I think it was another day?
Well, yeah, it was really the only thing we had to work with, because Jeremy does lives Tuesday night. We're trying to avoid him because he gets like most of the fan base of From there. Wednesday and Friday are From lives, and I forget. Oh, Thursday is the midnight watch party for Severance. So yeah,
maybe
then Sundays we're here with you. So it was like, okay, Saturday's
we'll
Jeremy's
figure it
live.
out, right? Because I don't want to do it the same time you have a live stream, because I know that a lot of our audience is crossover. We'll figure out something that works. I know we had talked about maybe doing a longer From site. I just think if we try to do it the same night we do From, we're either going to be there all night or we're not going to have enough time to talk about Severance. But I mean, we did end earlier tonight. But at any rate, people, just keep checking the Discords and our social media and everything. And I will add again my Discord in the chat here again, that we do have the From watch parties on Saturday night. If you guys want to join, there's that. But yeah, I'm sure we'll both be posting. You said yours is Monday nights. Once I figured it out, we'll be posting about it. And then also AJ and I, because Karen is traveling, I don't think she's going to be here tomorrow. But our normal Tuesday show comes back tomorrow. And we talked about the Anniversary Bites. What do we have? We have Doctor Who Christmas special, so there's that. And what am I forgetting? I'm telling you, man, I've been doing too much today that I can't even think. I'm like, what are we talking about tomorrow? What is it? Let's see.
Understandable.
It's written there. I can read it. Then like Silo. That's it. So And I guess maybe we do have, I don't know if we have, yeah, we do have the finale of Earth Abides. I'm sorry. I was thinking we went through it. We have the end of Earth Abides and Silo, the
Already?
next episode of Silo. Yeah, there was only 6 episodes.
Wow,
And
that's short.
yeah, it is. And then the newest episode is, I think, the last 2, because we didn't do over holidays, of Silo. And then we have the Doctor Who Christmas special. So that's all tomorrow. Sorry, what?
I'm so behind on Silo. I've been too busy with my channel stuff for everything else.
Yeah, that's why I did the watch party the other day, and some of us watched it. But yeah, that's tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, on the same channel you're watching right now. So make sure you guys check that out, and then of course we'll be back again, the 3 of us, next Sunday for more from. And once I get the link for the Squawking Dead thing I did today, for that, we talked about the finale. The episode had been held off for a while. We finally did it, so that link will be forthcoming soon too. But and you're everywhere on social media, just under Julie B Deep Dives, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Always Julie B Deep Dives. Now I finally got an Instagram. Now I have a Twitter, and now I have an Instagram, but there's nothing on it yet. I have to put stuff on it.
I don't like you. I don't really love Instagram. I'm not good at it because I have to. I always forget to do it, and the fact that you have to do pictures, a certain format stuff, I suck at it. I tend to forget. But
I don't know
mine is under Sci-Fi Vision, so mine's pretty easy to find too. But yeah, all of the updates are on there. And also, like I said, sometime later this week, I'm hoping to have the bottle tree design done at this the store, which I think I have a banner here with the actual link. Here's the Redbubble link, but it's easier just to go to store.fandomvision.com, but it's essentially the same thing. And I'm going to try to put up the From designs, because I know a lot of people and I've been complaining too, like, we want some From merch, so it will be there. I just got it now that I got my Redbubble taken care of, that they listened to me. And I got it fixed, that I'm actually getting paid and they didn't keep my money, that I can start putting the designs up. I just need to get a chance to finish them.
How did you do that with the link? How did you just put a link on the screen?
It's under banners.
Oh,
like,
okay.
You don't have to do a ticker, like just do a banner.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like I have one that says like the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's just under banner.
Oh, nice. I'll have to use that.
Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey, AA, we're just wrapping up. What's Redbubble? Redbubble is a place that does print on demand. There's also Zazzle and different things, but Redbubble was the one I had been using, and they do pretty good work too, because I had printed some of my other art out on it before, but I just really want a From shirt or something, and that's why I originally started designing it. And I also am hoping this week to, I know I keep saying it, I'm still planning it, to get the video up with the differences in the From pilot script. I'm going to try to do a video on it. And so there's that. What else? There's something I'm missing. I feel like I was going to say, and I don't know. Like I said before, it's late. I can't think this late at night. You haven't enjoyed
a lot before this too, so it's a lot.
Yeah, I did 3 hours before this. So I'm tired. But you got your interview with Simon that's up now too on your YouTube. People can check out, and of course there's other From interviews on my end too. So
yeah, if you guys haven't seen my interview with Simon Webster, that's on my channel. And I just found out I'm going to be able to interview Doug Hughes, who plays the Man in Yellow. So I'm extremely excited about that. So that's we have to like hammer out the details, but that's coming soon.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. We might have some more stuff coming. I've been trying to do different things. I don't think we'll get Severance, but I'd like to maybe do some more From things, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I said, everybody stay tuned and check out both of our channels for all the stuff and all the updates. And I guess Scarlet, I don't know if she's coming back. I feel like we're waiting. And do you have anything else to add that we didn't go over? I don't want to not give you a chance to say anything that you thought of.
I mean, yeah, I just thought, the first few episodes of this show just did a phenomenal job of setting up what was to come, and so many great monologues. I forgot just how amazing this episode is. Watching it again, it's you know it's very heavy on monologues by various characters, and I like that. It's very it gives you kind of a theater atmosphere. It's like they're all delivering monologues. Sarah and Fatima, Kenny, Jade. Um,
Good
so
scripts.
yeah, it gives you a lot of insight, into what's going on here, and each character, what makes them tick. Like just so good. And I loved the Ethan and Sarah scenes. Like it seems like most people might look at it and say, oh, like it's nothing. It's just Sarah and Ethan on a merry-go-round. But no, it's
It's more than that.
it's more than that. Nothing is just as it seems on the surface, and like everyone associated with this show did an amazing job. The writers, the art direction, the art designers, everything. Like the way this was directed. I don't know if this was a Jack Bender one who directed this one, but wow, it was phenomenal. Like I got so much insight just from watching this again.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see. I'm sure it's written here somewhere. Let me go into thing here. It'll tell who wrote it.
I need to look up. I don't know anything about like Clyde Hardy and
Yeah, I
Podolsky,
need to
Rosen.
I need to go.
All those things
Brad
made me
Turner
see.
directed this one.
Who did?
Brad Turner. He worked
Oh,
on Hands.
wow, he
And
did an amazing job.
written by John Griffin and Vivian Lee. I just know he worked on Helix because I met him on the set of Helix before.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry that you kind of missed it, AA, but of course you can stream it after, and I hope that people will. I know sometimes we get a lot after the fact. And I do think Jeremy had a party or something, so it may have screwed up people seeing it, but hopefully they'll go back and watch it. And we're going to be doing some other in my channel too on the Discord, some other watch parties, I think, for different things. It was some stuff to do, some other from related shows, even if they're old stuff. I was thinking that like it might be cool to watch some of those things like the OA or Dollhouse or I don't know, something. So yeah, look for all those updates. Well, I guess unless you have anything else, I guess Scarlet will come back and see we're gone, so she'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think she. Sometimes her device just fails. She has tech issues, but
No, I get that. But
but
yeah, we went really quick tonight.
yeah, I think we hit on all the major points, though. I think, I think like I don't know. Some of the most memorable lines in the whole series happened in this episode, like, and I think the biggest one for me, just the last thought I'll say, like Jade comparing them to rats in a maze, nibbling on their cheese, and this is a paradox. That's the problem. We can't get out of here unless we know where here is. I just loved that, and
Yeah,
it just
so did I. I think it's important.
it encapsulates what they're going through so well. It's brilliant the way it was written, and I think they are they're like metaphorical. They're the rats in the maze, and then later this season we're going to see
the cat in the box, as he said,
and the cat in the box, Schrodinger's cat, and and then I really think this show. It's like a work of literature that you can analyze. There's foreshadowing, there's symbolism and metaphor. Like the rats in a maze, they definitely bring that back on purpose when they're going to show, I think it's season 2, episode 1, Tabitha and Victor are down in the caves and they see some rats nibbling on a crow, and they're in a maze of tunnels in the cave. So it's like, I think it could be foreshadowing that the rats, aka the humans, are going to triumph over the watcher big bad entity that's always looming over them, like the crows watching them from the tree when they get there.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's how I read it. I'm hoping that means we're going to get a somewhat happy ending, and then they'll survive in the end. Like they'll break the cycle. More will die.
I definitely hope they break the cycle. That's for sure. But I also like where he's giving the point that, like, after a while you give up if you don't know, and that like a lot of the people are giving up and losing hope type of thing. I think it all parallels it. But I know we talked about before. I was talking about it more in the Discord chat, but I still wonder, although I think in mythology it's ravens, not crows, but I do still keep thinking about like Odin and his two, ravens, whatever it was, knowledge and memory. I don't even remember. Was from Twilight of the Gods, and like that maybe somebody, entity, man in yellow, whatever, is sending them to spy or something. And I think it was Susie said in the chat, made an interesting point I hadn't thought of, like Odin, like the whole one-eyed Odin, and we have like themes of one eye,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
very interesting. So
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it could be a mythological reference, like we've seen other references to different cultures, mythologies in the show. So I can totally see that. Yeah.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Um,
Hey,
yeah.
Infinite Umbra. I was going to say before we wrap it up, I was going to say, and this one's David's theory on Squawking Dead, but I thought was interesting. I hadn't really thought of, and I don't know that it works, but it's an interesting thought to think of. He was saying, like, what if the boy in white is actually story walking and isn't like a ghost or something?
Oh, that's an interesting
That gave me
idea.
some new thoughts on like thinking. I think the big question with that is, at least to me, is if somebody story walks, can they walk beyond their own timeline?
Right.
Or is
Yeah.
because he would be really old. I mean, he was around when Victor was a kid, so yeah.
Right.
And how far from the future is it? I don't know that that's the case, but it just gave me some interesting things to think about.
I wouldn't rule it out. It's possible, like he could be story walking a great distance from where he lives. That's an interesting idea. I mean, he's one of the biggest mysteries of the show is the boy in white. What exactly is he? What kind of entity? He can interact with the physical world, but then so can the Anghui kids, and they're not alive. They can touch
Yeah.
things, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say.
Yeah, some of the things that we didn't know, like we find out, are corporeal and can interact with things. Even like the kimono woman. Yeah, I don't know. We
Right?
talked about some different things. Hi, Charlotte or Scarlet.
That's fine. Charlotte's
Welcome back.
good.
Like I said, I'm getting tired. It's 1:30.
Well,
I don't
Lonnie's
know
my
if you have
favorite character in Yellow Jacket, so that's cool.
That's cool. I don't know if you have anything else about the episode to add. We kind of moved to the rest of the episode, so we were sort of winding down. Unless you have anything else to.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Well, good. Okay, well, everyone, like and subscribe, and check out Julie's channel as well. And like I said, tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back for our normal show to talk about Silo, Doctor Who Christmas special, and the end of Earth Abides. So we hope we will see you there. And some of you I will probably see in the Discord as well. All right, guys. Well, have
Right.
a.
Should we advertise our stuff, like our Severance watch party?
Yeah, we were talking about it before. When's your watch party part?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the watch party. Thursday night will be the last one for season 1 for Severance, and that'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern in my Discord. And yeah, the link to my Discord is right in my channel description, so you can find it there. And then we'll go live Thursday night, probably around 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll do another call in live to talk about the finale. We'll talk about the trailer for season 2, and maybe even the preview if people want to talk about it. If people don't want to be spoiled with the first few minutes that were released as a preview of season 2, then we won't. But I don't know. We'll see. And of course, our usual From Lives Wednesday night. Wednesday night is going to be 10 p.m. Eastern. We're moving it earlier. Friday will be 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Yeah.
And plus we have the Fridays will be themed, and this Friday's From theme is Jack Bender.
Yeah, we're gonna explore Jack Bender, his art, like other things he's worked on, his interview, little tidbits to get insights into the show via Jack Bender. So we're gonna focus on that on Friday. Wednesday we'll be talking about the rewatch though.
That's cool. Yeah, and I'll probably at some point if you're streaming them, I don't know if I need to, but it doesn't hurt, I don't think, for people probably want to, if they miss it, can stream again. I can always do it too if people want to see it, but I'll figure out soon when our Severance live stream is going to be, and we'll let everyone know about that. But until then, Come back tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thanks everyone in the chat. Have a
Yeah,
good night.
thanks for coming and listening, everybody.